Hello and welcome here to Cal Lutheran University at Sparky Anderson Field, and we have a good game here today between the Conejo Oaks and the Ventura County Pirates. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano here all day, but boy oh boy do we got a good game. The first game of the season and absolutely beautiful weather, isn't it, Ryan?
I could not be more excited to be here on opening day. It's Conejo Oaks baseball. It's been a long hiatus. There's been 2 years because the Oaks had to take the season off for the COVID pandemic. And we're finally back to summer baseball at Sparky Anderson Field at Cal Lutheran, and I cannot think of a better way to do it. The Conejo Oaks versus the Ventura County Pirates, and it's going to be a great game.
Should be an exciting one. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for the game. The starting lineup for the Ventura County Pirates. Leading off is the DH, number 9, Kyle Soberano. Batting second is the shortstop, David Reyna. Batting third is the first baseman, number 27, Jason Ajamian. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, number 25, Jacob Ortega. In the fifth hole spot, it's the third baseman, Darren Taylor. He's number 28. And as we finish, Trenton Dallas is in the sixth hole spot. He's in center field. Johnny Pacheco, the seventh hole in left field. Carmelo Hernandez, the catcher, is batting eighth. And Dante Zamudio, the second baseman, will end out the lineup for the Ventura County Pirates as we're already set and underway as the first pitch is in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Alexander Rivas is the pitcher for the Conejo Oaks. He is a Cal Lutheran student pitching in his home ballpark as the second pitch by Soberano is popped right to center field. Sandoval is there to make the catch and already one away here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, right there, early count, first pitch, or second pitch, swinging, driven to center. A light contact, easy can of corn.
So already one away. David Reyna, the shortstop, number 1, steps up to the plate for the Ventura County Pirates. Rivas motions, and the pitch is inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. David Reyna in 2 games played already this year. He's had 8 plate appearances and has had 2 singles this season, as the pitch from Reyna is inside for a ball. Rivas.
And he's had 2 of those pitches so far to start where he's tried to go up and in. He's missed his spot a little bit. You could tell he's trying to get that inside part of the plate, elevate his fastball. But right there, too far inside, too far out of the catcher's mitt.
Early 2-hole count as the pitch from Rivas is fouled away behind the plate. The count will move to 2-1. Rivas at Cal Lutheran this past season played in 7 games. He started 7 of them. He had a 2-3 record with 45 innings pitched, as well as having a 4.60 ERA and had 28 strikeouts. As the 2-1 pitch is outside for a ball, it moves to 3-1.
And right now for Rivas starting out, it's the first game with the Oaks. It's all about chemistry, consistency, and locating pitches.
As the next pitch is popped behind the plate, it goes right behind us and hits the roof right behind us. And we got ourselves a full count here with 1 away in the top of the first inning.
And Knight, if this roof above us wasn't there, I think I would have had a good shot at that baseball. I was tracking it all the way off the bat. If I would have brought my glove, if this wouldn't have been here, there's a lot of ifs, but I would have caught that baseball.
No doubt about it, Ryan. I think that you would have been able to catch that baseball. But, there is this roof here, and unfortunately we got a full count. The pitch from Rivas is in there. It's grounded to third. Burford's throw is over the first baseman's head. Bobo not tall enough. And already an error for the Oaks. And it's a runner on for the Ventura County Pirates with 1 away.
Yeah, and right there, that should be an easy ground ball for the third baseman. And you're starting to see these guys have only played with each other and practiced with each other for 3 days. So it's a lot of new chemistry, a lot of new guys playing with each other. And you see Burford right there. What looks like an easy ground ball to third, it's still a long way across that diamond. A little bit of an elevated throw. Bobo could have been 7 feet tall. He wouldn't have caught that.
Yeah, saw Burford working at third base the last couple of days, as well as Lauren Frank, as Rivas throws back to first. And Reyna's in there safely.
And I like for Rivas to keep the runner at bay, at first, make sure to watch him, make sure he's not getting too big of a lead. Keep throwing it back to Bobo right there because you want to keep that runner honest, especially after an error in the first. You feel like you should have 2 outs. You don't want to let that runner end up getting to the plate. You don't want to end up letting him steal second to put him in scoring position with just 1 down. Keep him honest at first and force him to be wary on the base paths.
The runner goes as the pitch is a strike, but Reyna steals second safely. Sharp tried to go to second, but like I said, Reyna gets in there safely.
Yeah, and for a speedster like Reyna, you saw it. He put pressure on Burford when he was running on the base pass. It's another reason for the high throw. And you saw it right there. Someone who wanted to steal, someone who did steal, and it was a pretty good pop time from the catcher and a pretty good throw to second base. It just was not in time to get him.
A 1 count, and Rivas delivers as that one's outside for a ball. The count is even now, 1-1 with 1 out.
And we saw Rivas try to go inside. We've seen the last few pitches him try to identify that low and outside part of the plate. He's not trying to give too many hitters in the sweet spot. A little bit of a readjustment from him early here.
The 1-1 pitch is low for a ball. So the count moves to 2-1. Jason Ajamian at the plate for the Pirates. He's had 4 hits, all singles, in 8 plate appearances in the prior 2 games with the Pirates as he stands in. The 2-1 pitch is hit high in the air to right field. It's going to be in foul territory. Coming over, and a nice sliding play by Foreman. Wow. What a play right there.
It's the first web gem of the season.
Yeah, TJ Foreman. Heck of a sliding play in foul territory.
I thought Bobo had the best chance to get that off the bat. It looked like he saw it, and he just kept running back, and the ball started to carry over towards the bullpen. At one point, I thought it was going to be out of the park. Foreman had to make up so much ground, was able to make the sliding catch right against the fence. Athletic play, he might have ran about 75 yards on that.
So now 2 away. Reyna moves to third as the first pitch to Jacob Ortega is swung on and missed for a strike. It was way early on that one, and Rivas gets ahead, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is then grounded to the shortstop, Naviak. He throws over to first, and the side is retired. So just the 1 runner on the air, but other than that, the Pirates are sent in order. And we'll head to the bottom of the first inning, still tied 0-0. And Ryan, already the first half of an inning in Conejo Oaks baseball here in 2021, and we saw a beautiful web gem. It's been exciting baseball to watch so far.
Well, yeah, right now we saw, of course, the highlight play. Maybe someone should clip the stream, put it to SportsCenter, see what happens. Who knows? But what I really was most excited to see is how Rivas was doing identifying his pitches, locating his pitches. What he did early is he missed his spots a few times where the catcher was set up versus where he ended up being. It was a little bit off of his spot, but we saw once he got to the 3-hole, the 4-hole hitter, he then started to find that low and outside part of the zone. He was identifying his fastball. We saw a lot of fastballs, not too many off-speed pitches, especially because he didn't get too deep into counts. But I thought he did a very good job, especially once he had a runner on base. Even though he stole second, even though Reyna got his way on a stolen base, I liked the way that Rivas controlled the mound, the way that he was able to locate his pitches and not really worry about a runner in scoring position. Be able to get poor contact, ground outs, ground balls, weak fly balls. Not going to be someone who we've seen so far in Rivas who is going to overpower with his fastball in terms of velocity, but what he is doing is he's drawing soft contact, and when you get that type of soft contact, it's exactly what you need if you're the Oaks out of your starting pitcher.
Yeah, Rivas pitching in his home ballpark. He goes to Cal Lutheran. And, that was one of the reasons that he got the nod today. He's playing in his home environment. He had pitched the last 2 seasons, which was really crucial. We were talking with manager Dave Solis before the game about how important it is for those certain players that hadn't played in the last couple of years because of COVID. Some of their players, their seasons got canceled, but for Rivas, he got to play these past couple of years right before the pandemic and this past season in 2021, and so that was a real reason why he chose to go with Rivas today.
Yeah, and the mound familiarity, and we'll talk about this throughout the game, but mound familiarity is something that is absolutely crucial. As Burford, he's going to get the leadoff spot here, and he is going to be facing off against Stephen Miller, the pitcher on the hill for Ventura County.
Stephen Miller on the mound as the first pitch to Burford is hit right back at him. He throws over to first, and Ajamian is there, and already 1 away on the first pitch here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and right there, a check swing. He was trying to hold up. It was a pitch a little bit inside, ate him up, right back to the pitcher. I don't think he was trying to make contact. He was very slow out of the box, and it showed.
Yeah, Burford with an error in the first and gets out on the first pitch to him. And similar to the top of the first inning, we're already to the 2-hole hitter early here. As the first pitch is a called strike to Brendan Bobo, the first baseman for the Oaks. Bobo, the 6', 205 infielder from Cal State Fullerton, as the 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball. Bobo's a kinesiology major at Cal State Fullerton. He's huge into the Marvel Avengers series. But he stands in here with a 1-1 count as he fouls it away, and the count will move to 1-2.
And right there, we've seen it a few times. We saw it with Burford on the pitch that he brought right back to the pitcher. Inside, it's where the pitches are being located for Miller right now. He's trying to bust up and in, and we've seen these Conejo Oaks be a little bit late on a few pitches right there, fouled off to the opposite way.
As the 1-2 pitch is high, it was a off-speed pitch. But the count evens at 2-2 with 1 away. Miller, the windup, the pitch is hit. It's a floater, and it's going to get down for a single, and that's the first hit of the game. Brendan Bobo with a single, and the Oaks have a runner with 1 away.
Yeah, and right there, Bobo, he fought one off the hands. Inside, that's a stinger right there. I'm not sure he feels very good, and his hands on first base, a little bit of the nerve endings acting up. But you fight it off, you pop it up, and it's a tough play for the second baseman to get deep into shallow center, and the center fielder playing that far back, never going to get that close to the infield. It's a perfectly placed ball on a pitch that was tough to get to and one that he fought off well.
As Miller delivers a strike in there, Raul Sandoval now at the dish for the Oaks, the center fielder, as he stands in with the runner on first. Ventura County had a runner on first in the top of the inning off of an error, as now Sandoval grounds it to the third baseman. They go around the horn, and no, they're going to call him safe at first. It was a close play, but Taylor tried to go to Zamudio to Ajamian, but Sandoval's in there safely on a fielder's choice.
And I thought that was a routine double play, a hard ground ball to third that it looked like was going to be 2, but the speed of Sandoval to get to the bag before the throw was a bang-bang play, but he was able to beat out what was a routine double play.
As the first pitch from Miller is outside, Robert Capozzi at the plate for the Oaks now. Capozzi, he's a big fella, 6'8", 230 pounds, but that 6'8" size, that's huge.
Literally huge.
Yeah, as the 1-0 pitch is outside for a ball, it's now 2-0. Capozzi is going to be a sophomore at Marist College in the fall. He's a business administration major there. As the 2-0 pitch is popped high in the air. It's drifting towards the dugout and falls right between the catcher and third baseman. It could have been caught for an out, but nevertheless it falls foul, and we move to 2-1 with 2 outs.
Yeah, and that's Taylor's responsibility right there. He's the third baseman. He's the guy that has to be taking charge. The catcher, with all the gear on, with the catcher's mitt, it's tough to be tracking a fly ball, having to throw the mask. When you are that third baseman, when you're a position player and there's a fly ball in the infield, you have to be the one to call it off.
2-1 count with a runner on and 2 away. Capozzi at the plate. And it's a breaking ball outside for a ball. As the count moves to 3-1, Capozzi ahead. Normally won't see a lot of 6-8 batters ahead in the count, but here we are as the 3-1 pitch is outside, and it's a walk for Capozzi. So the Oaks now have 2 runners on with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, and that's a great way to work the count if you're Capozzi. A base on balls, especially, as you mentioned, someone who is 6'8", has a big frame, fighting off pitches, fouling them off. I mean, he could have been out on that play because it is a wide foul territory here at Cal Lutheran, but he did a great job of fighting off pitches, having a good eye, knowing his zone, and now we see a mound visit for Miller because walking a guy that's 6'8", now with 2 runners on, a runner in scoring position, it's a little bit difficult to get past this.
George Vernew, the coach, out there with the Ventura County Pirates pitcher Stephen Miller. If you're just joining us here in the bottom of the first inning, Reagan Burford hit a grounder right to the pitcher to start on the first pitch of the bottom of the first inning. Brendan Bobo then hit a single to soft center field. Then Raul Sandoval hit into a fielder's choice. They got Bobo out at second base. Sandoval made it to first, was able to extend the inning by beating out the potential double play. And now Capozzi walks, so 2 runners on and 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Miller set. And the pitch is in there for a strike to Grant Smith.
And Smith wanted that inside. Smith thought he had a good take, ball at the knees on the interior part of the plate, the umpire giving that inside part of the zone.
Grant Smith, the second baseman, number 15, stands in. The 1-0-1 pitch, is fouled off. And Miller gets ahead now 0-2 with 2 away.
Yeah, and quickly 0-2 to Smith. Right now, it seems like he has a good eye at the plate. He wasn't too aggressive, took the first pitch, fought off a pitch that he wasn't looking for. Now has to battle back from 0-2.
Smith stands in and takes a ball below the knees. And the count moves to 1-2. Smith going to be a junior in the fall at Increment World. That's over in Texas. He's from New Mexico. That's where his father swam at New Mexico State. But playing baseball in Texas and now here in beautiful Thousand Oaks for the summer. As the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt, and now Sandoval is going to go to third. So Sandoval goes to third, and now it's runners on the corners with 2 outs. And the Oaks are 90 feet away from taking the lead here early on.
And that was terrific identification from Sandoval. He saw the breaking ball off the bat of Miller. That was not a design steal. Once he saw the ball was going to be in the dirt, he trusted his speed to get himself to third.
The 1-2 pitch is inside, and it got him. So Grant Smith is hit by a pitch, and now the bases are loaded for the Conejo Oaks. And it's the catcher, Andrew Sharp, coming up to the plate.
This is a big spot for Sharp right here. You have bases loaded. It's a chance for the Oaks to strike early in their first inning. A team that, with the Oaks, their first inning of offense hasn't played together as a team yet in a full live game. It's going to be very important to get a lead early. And right now, Andrew Sharp has an opportunity to drive in a run. And right now, it is a lefty-righty matchup, advantage hitter.
Andrew Sharp, the catcher, like I said, he's going to Cal State Bakersfield. Originally went to Grace Brethren High School in Simi Valley. Spent 2 years at Saugus High School in the Santa Clarita area prior to coming to Grace Brethren. But he stands in as the pitch is a ball inside. 1-0 now.
And right here, what's most important if you're Sharp is you have to work the count. Do not give Miller any extra strikes.
As now Sharp takes another ball outside, and it's a 2-0 count.
And we've seen Miller's had a little bit of trouble finding the zone. He walked Capozzi, he hit Smith, force him to throw strikes.
As now Sharp hits one high in the air behind the plate and foul over the roof this time. I don't think you're going to catch that one, Ryan.
That one I didn't have a chance to. That one was well out of reach. I would have had to be jumping off of the second story that we're on right now. It would have been a very difficult play for me to make. First one, a little bit easier.
Yeah, a little bit easier. But nevertheless, the 2-1 pitch is inside, and it's going to get a pass ball, and the Oaks are going to score their first run of the game and their first run of the year since 2019. And boy, oh boy, the Oaks take the lead on a passed ball.
And right there, that's exactly what you have to do if you're in the batter's box and you're Sharp. You have to force Miller to throw strikes because he's not doing that right now. So, absolutely ideal base running, ideal hitting right now. We see the plate discipline, and that is absolutely what we need from the Oaks right now because they're doing it well.
The 3-1 pitch is fouled away behind the plate. And it's a full count with 2 outs. But what a change in events for Ventura County. They had a chance for an inning-ending double play. Sandoval beats out the throw, and then Sandoval later comes around and scores on a wild pitch. It's a tough break. As Sharp grounds it foul down the right field line. And the at-bat will continue.
Yeah, and we see with Sharp, or we saw earlier with Sandoval, we saw his speed on display. We saw him beat out that double play. Then we saw him, after he got to second base, steal third, and then on the pass ball was able to steal home. That is absolutely what you need to do if you're a speedster like that and a rangy center fielder.
And that is a close call, but it's a ball, and Andrew Sharp will walk, and the bases are loaded once again for the Conejo Oaks.
Knight, I know we're the Oaks broadcasters, but that looked like a strike to me. That looked like it was right down the middle. It looked like it was, I don't know how much closer to the strike zone Miller could have gotten right there. It looked like he pumped right in between, right at belt high on the middle of the plate. I'm not too sure about that call.
It was a close play for sure, but, we're not the ones making the call. It's the umpire. As now Foreman will ground it to second. Zamudio tries to go to second. He's safe, and the Oaks will score 2 runs. What a mishap. And it could have been an ending play, but the Oaks score 2 runs.
And you saw Zamudio, he got eaten up at second. It looked like it was going to be a routine play, and he hesitated. He had the ball, he had the opportunity, and he looked like he was going to go to first, saw it was going to be a close play, then decided to throw to second. And you just can't have that type of weight and hesitation if you're a second baseman, especially in a bases-loaded situation when there's 2 down. Any out, any base is a force out. You have to be able to go to any bag and be sharp about it. He waited to go to second. It was the wrong decision.
Austin Carrillo steps up to the plate. He takes the first pitch outside for a ball. The Oaks lead 3-0. All 3 runs coming with 2 outs as they're on a 2-out rally of themselves with 2 runners on in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch from Miller is outside for a ball.
And right now, if you're the Oaks, I might keep the bat on my shoulder. At least you're thinking take off the hand because Miller's having a hard time identifying the strike zone right now.
2-0 pitch is in there for a strike on the inside part of the plate. A move to 2-1. The last 5 batters for the Conejo Oaks have reached base safely.
And right there, I like that take even though it was a strike. You knew it was going to be in the zone, but a ball right at the knees, that's a ground ball inducer.
Carrillo then grounds it to Zamudio. He throws over to first, and that'll end the inning. But the Oaks score 3, and they lead 3-0 after the first inning. And wow, already an inning in and 3 runs off of 5 straight batters reaching with 2 outs.
Only 1 hit.
And only 1 hit, yeah.
And the hit wasn't even hard contact. It was off the bat of Bobo, and it was just a little flare into center field. So Miller, the pitcher for Ventura County, struggling to find the strike zone, but also not letting the Oaks get hard contact. Conejo doing a great job being aggressive on the base pass, finding opportunities whenever they can get them there, not leaving runs on the field, at least in the first inning.
2 runners are left on base, but 3 runs score for the Oaks. It's already been an exciting game so far. It's been a lot of pitches for Miller in that inning. Up to, let's see. Looks like he's up to 35 pitches in that inning. And that's just not a great start for the Ventura County Pirates. But coming up in the top of the second inning, Darren Taylor, the third baseman, is going to lead it off, followed by Trenton Dallas, the center fielder. Johnny Pacheco's behind him. He's the left fielder. So those are the next 3 batters coming up for the Ventura County Pirates.
The third baseman, Darren Taylor. He's the only person on this Ventura County team that's shown that he has pop in his bat. Ventura County, only 2 extra base hits on the season, only 1 home run. They've played 2 games before this, both of them losses. Darren Taylor is the only person in that dugout who's hit a home run this season.
Rivas on the mound as he delivers, and the first pitch is inside for a ball to Taylor. Ryan, we were talking with the coaches pregame. We were talking about Rivas, and we mentioned that he got the nod because of the home field advantage and in pitching. As now Taylor hits it to right field. He's going for 2, and he'll slide in there safely with a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning.
And make it 2/3 of the extra base hits now for this Ventura County Pirates team. Right there. Fights off a pitch up and outside, goes opposite way, was able to barrel it up. You don't need to be a pull hitter. A lot of batters to think you have to have power, think you have to be able to pull the ball. You don't. As long as you get the barrel on the ball, meet the pitch in the zone, you can put it opposite way, and that is just as good as if you pull the ball. Trying to force a pull on that, you'd be way out in front, and you wouldn't be able to make contact with the ball. Definitely not be able to barrel it up. Right there, able to punch it right out into right field down the line and get that double.
Rivas then delivers as a bunt is popped up off the netting behind the plate, and the count will be 0-1. Darren Taylor, who just hit that double, he's going to Chaffee College. It's a junior college in Rancho Cucamonga. For a JUCO player, a great first hit. Had the home run earlier in the year, but puts himself in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Trenton Dallas at the plate now for the Pirates, as Dallas fouls one down the left field line, and the count moves to 0-2. 2 straight fouls.
I believe it's actually Paulus, the man at the plate. It's a P and not a D to start off. But he is down 0-2. And what I was mentioning earlier with Taylor, where this team, the Ventura County Pirates, they played 2 games against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Those are games that is a team that the Conejo Oaks will be very familiar with throughout the season.
As the pitch is outside, Mike, apologies to Palace. I heard the PA announcer before the game go Dallas, and so I thought I had it wrong at P-A-L-L-A-S, but it was actually the PA announcer, and that's where I got the mix-up.
It's the first game of the season.
It's the first game of the season, yeah.
Things will happen. There's been a lot of technical difficulties already, and we're only in game one. I'm sure that's a story for a later game, but
the pitch from Rivas is swung on and missed. Got him to chase on the outside part of the plate, and one away now for Rivas and the Oaks. The runner on second.
But what I was saying with the Arroyo Seco Saints, this game is going to be a very good indicator for the Oaks about how they stack up with the other teams, especially the Saints for the rest of the season. The Saints got 2 wins against this Ventura County team. Conejo, in the next 2 weeks, they play Arroyo Seco, I believe it's 3 or 4 times. So they're going to see a lot of the Saints. We'll see how they stack up against a team who's faced similar competition.
And the first pitch to Pacheco is inside for a ball. Makes the count 1-0. Darren Taylor with the leadoff double. He stands on second with 1 away. Rivas looks back, and the pitch to Pacheco is grounded to the second baseman, Smith. He throws over to first, and Pacheco is retired. It's the 4-3 play, but Darren Taylor moves to third, so now a runner 90 feet away from scoring for the second time in this game for the Ventura County Pirates.
Yeah, and we've seen Rivas in these high-pressure situations, and I've really liked what he's done after he's gotten runners on base. When he's gotten runners in scoring position, that's when he's really ramped it up. Right after Taylor hit the double, he then draws a strikeout, a swinging strikeout on a fantastic pitch out of the zone that he got Palace to chase at.
As the first pitch to Hernandez is high for a ball. Carmelo Hernandez, number 33, the catcher at the plate for the Pirates. Rivas sets and fires, and this one's a soft ground ball right back to Rivas. He goes over to first. Bobo's there, and that'll do it for the top of the second inning. So no runs on the one hit and no errors, and we'll go to the bottom of the second inning with the Oaks leading 3-0. And Ryan, so far, 1.5 innings played so far. What's impressed you the most?
First of all, I'll talk about the defense for Conejo, because I think that the pitching on the defensive side for Rivas has been fantastic. Rivas, outside of where he gave up the double, has been very good. He's induced ground balls, he's induced weak contact, and even when there was an error in the first, he battled back with a runner in scoring position. It didn't rattle him. He made sure that runner in scoring position with only 1 down, keep him on third. Keep him in scoring position. Don't let him touch home. He did it again in the second inning, with this time with no outs, then induced the strikeout. Because if you have it where there's runner on second and no outs, ground ball to the right side, ground ball to the right side, that's a run scored. Drawing that strikeout, it puts the pitcher with so much leverage, so in such a better position than he would have been if he hadn't gotten that wave strikeout. So I think absolutely Rivas throughout the first 2 innings has been fantastic. And then opportunistic base running on offense. We'll see if it keeps up in the second inning. But absolutely, I think that these Oaks have been doing they've been doing a fantastic job so far. It's a very small sample size, but I like what I've seen.
Rivas, only 24 pitches I have through the first 2 innings of work for the pitcher from here at Cal Lutheran, originally from Encino, California, but getting the nod today in the first opening game for the Conejo Oaks, playing in his home ballpark.
And you know what is so great about the first inning for Conejo, where they were able to score 3 runs, where they're able to get runners on base with errors and all of that, is that now you have your 9-hole hitter and Naviak up at the plate. But it turns the lineup over. It's 9-1-2. You have your leadoff hitter coming up right after this.
As JT Noviak, the shortstop, steps up to the plate, like you said, he's the 9-hole hitter, having the 1 and 2 hitters follow him, as the pitch from Miller is outside for a ball. Ball's in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1.
And I'll be interested to see how long we see Miller on the hill for Ventura County.
As the 1-1 pitch is high for a ball.
We know especially it's very early in the season. These teams want to get a lot of pitchers out, especially with the 3-run inning early.
As Noviak hits the ball down the right field line. That one's fair. Noviak going for 2. The ball gets lost around the bullpen as Noviak's digging for third, and he'll slide in there safely. A leadoff triple from JT Noviak, and the Oaks are in business once again.
And right there, right down the first base line, just got fair, and then there's a pitcher warming up in the pen. There's a bench that I believe the ball got caught on down that line. There's a lot of obstacles down there. If I'm Noviak, I think he made the right decision, digging for third off the bat. I might even not look at my third base coach. I see that it's headed towards the bullpen. I see all the commotion down there. I'm banking on the fact that that right fielder isn't going to have a good read on that ball.
So now Reagan Burford comes up to the plate as he takes the first pitch high for a ball. We saw in the top of the second inning, Darren Taylor, the third baseman for Ventura County, he went opposite field for a double. And already here in the bottom of the second inning, JT Noviak goes opposite field as we get another opposite field hit ball as Burford gets it over the right field. That one falls. Noviak's going to come in to score. Burford into second, and the Oaks score another run. It's 4-0.
And we're going to credit that as a double in the score sheet, but I think Ortega dropped that ball in right. It was behind him, right at him, and that, if you play outfield, any outfielder will tell you, the hardest ball to get to is the one hit over your head directly behind you because you don't know which shoulder to turn off of, and you get a little confused, and if you hesitate for just a second, then it's a play similar to what we just saw with Ortega where he turns one way, then tries to turn back the other way, and he isn't able to make the play.
As the first pitch to Brendan Bobo is a ball outside. But back-to-back opposite field hits gets the Oaks on the board. It's 4-0. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning and another one here in the bottom of the second as the 1-0 pitch is outside for a ball. Moves to 2-0.
And Bobo, he was the only person to get a hit last inning, and right now we see Miller, he's a little bit rattled. He's given up 2 straight hits, especially after a first inning where he gave up 3 runs.
As now Bobo fouls it out of play down the left field line.
We'll see if Bobo is able to capitalize on the fact that he's feeling confident after hitting the first, and after Miller probably isn't feeling so confident after giving up back-to-back extra base hits.
And now Bobo sends it to center field. He gets down. The center fielder dives. The ball's on the ground. Bobo's heading for second. He'll get there safely as Burford comes in to score. And the Oaks now lead 5-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Brennan Bobo takes a 2-1 pitch and goes to center field. Ryan, you gonna count that a single with an error, or you gonna count it a double there after the center fielder dove for the ball?
I'm counting it a double. He didn't make contact with the ball as he dove. I'm calling it a double.
As the first pitch to Sandoval is in there for a strike, so it is a double. We're gonna count it for that. So 3 straight extra base hits for the Oaks.
I also want to count it a double because the Oaks in this inning have had as many extra base hits as Ventura County has in 3 games.
It's quite the statistic, Ryan, as Sandoval fouls that one away. Count moves to 0-2.
And right now, if you're in the dugout for the Oaks, you see everyone on their feet. If you look over at the Ventura County dugout, everyone on the bench.
As now Sandoval grounds it to third. Tough play by the first baseman. And Jamian is there and makes a tremendous play at first base. Sandoval is retired for the first out.
And that's a tremendous pick by Jamian over at first. You look at that, and it was you see the throw from third a lot, where it's going to be a hop, where it's going to have to be a pick play at first. And Jamian, he was positioned a little bit weird, where he had to sort of backhand scoop, and he was able to do it. Athletic play from the first baseman, one that was a high-quality play, one that at this level, you expect them probably not to make as often. At the MLB level, maybe you expect that play to be made, but you wouldn't. It wouldn't be something that you'd be shocked necessarily if it wasn't made. At this level, making that play, that is an incredibly high-level play.
Robert Capozzi comes up to the plate. The DH stands in as that pitch is outside for a ball. Capozzi, last inning, in the bottom of the first inning, he walked. It was a rare walk for the 6'8" hitter. As he stands in with the runner on second, fouls the 1-1 pitch behind the plate and out of play. It'll move to 1-2 now with one out. Different count this time for Capozzi. Walked on 5 pitches and now finds himself behind as he takes a ball outside. And the count evens at 2-2.
And now Miller has a little bit of liberty to work with his pitches. You saw him there really locating a pitch on the outside part of the plate. He hit his spot well. He has a chance here up in the count to now mess around.
Capozzi swings and he's retired. It's the first strikeout of the game for Miller. And now 2 outs for the Conejo Oaks as Grant Smith will come up to the plate.
And you saw it. Miller, he got up in the count 1-2. Then he tried to identify a pitch to draw a chase on the outside part of the plate. And then you see him not bury one, but get one below the knees, force a swing and a miss, and send Capozzi back to the dugout.
The first pitch to Smith is in there for a strike. So 2 straight batters retired. Sandoval on the ground out and Capozzi on the strikeout after 3 extra base hits from the 9-hole hitter, the 1 and 2 hole hitters, as now Smith hits it high to right field. Ortega's there, and that'll retire the side. So the Oaks lead 5-0, and they score 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. We'll head to the top of the 3rd inning. And we'll take a break, and we'll come back right after the top of the 3rd, or bottom, or.
We'll come back. We'll come back. The 3rd.
And we're back for the top of the third inning. The Oaks lead 5-0. And now stepping up to the plate, Dante Zamudio. As the first pitch from Rivas is a breaking ball, and that one's a ball below the knees. Count moves to 1-0. We haven't really had much to talk about the play from Rivas, as he is already set as his curveball hits Zamudio, and he'll go to first on a hit by pitch. But it was pretty much clear sailing before that point for Rivas. He's worked his way out of 2 jams, getting a runner on third with no outs in the second inning, and a runner on third with 1 out in the top of the first inning. But Ryan, what are we going to see from Rivas on the mound? What are his pitch selections, and what is his style of pitching?
Well, after this foul ball, what we've seen from him a lot is fastballs. And what we saw from him to open up this inning is 2 curveballs. The first one I thought was a very good pitch, try to induce a swing on the first pitch, show in the zone, drop out. It looked like it had a lot of movement on it. Good eye by Zamudio to watch it. But then he had a curveball again in which he ended up plunking Zamudio and sending him to first. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see if he's going to rely on that off-speed pitch. What we see from him in his pitch selection is a lot of fastball. He has a fastball with arm side run. He's been using it a lot. He's been getting some swings and misses with it as well. It's how he got his strikeout in the second inning. And he has a changeup that he doesn't use as often. I'm not sure if we've seen him use it today. I haven't identified it. And then a curveball, which we've seen him use, especially to start this inning. Sometimes he'll use it as a strikeout pitch if he's feeling it. But right now, after plunking a batter, I'm not sure if he is.
Soberano flies it to left field. Carrillo is there and makes the play. And 1 runner is retired here, or 1 batter is retired here in the top of the third inning.
And he's gone back to his fastball. Rivas, after hitting Zamudio with that curve, threw 3 straight fastballs to Soberano. Or excuse me, he picked off twice. So he threw the ball 3 times, only 1 pitch.
As now Rivas delivers, Reyna flies it to right field. Foreman comes over and makes the play. Zamudio back to first. And 2 quick outs for Rivas, and now 2 away with 1 runner on in the top of the third inning.
And that was actually solid contact off the bat of Reyna. I thought if that was in the gap, that would have dropped, but it just happened to be directly to the right fielder. Right now, if you're Rivas, it's trying to limit that solid contact. He's only had 2 balls that have been hit hard throughout the day. He wants to keep it that way.
So now Jason Ajamian comes up to the plate as the first pitch is swung on and missed for a strike. Ajamian flew out to right field in his first plate appearance in the top of the first inning.
And Ajamian right there was late. Rivas busted him up and in, and Ajamian right there trying to catch up on the pitch, wasn't able to do it, and he sort of gave a nod after, okay, I see what you're doing. And I think if Rivas is going to try to go up and in again, Ajamian might be ready for it.
Rivas, the curveball is in there for a strike, and he goes ahead now 0-2 here in the top of the third inning.
And right here, if you're Ajamian, you're down 0-2 in the count, especially as a 3-hole hitter, a guy normally in a power spot. It's about battling. It's about now becoming a 1-hole hitter, a contact hitter.
As the 0-2 pitch is outside, try to go with the fastball and get him to chase, but Ajamian stays strong, and the count is now 1-2.
And I like that pitch from Rivas. He has that fastball with that arm side run. He threw it just off the plate. It broke just a little bit inside. Could have been called a strike. I don't think it was, as this is fouled back. I don't think it was a strike, but I think it's a great pitch. Try to induce a swing and a miss. And then, if it misses, you might also get the strike call from the umpire if he's being generous.
Rivas ready, just waiting for Ajamian to step up to the plate. Finally does. But Rivas looks locked in as he delivers. Fastball is grounded to the third baseman. Burford cross the diamond, and that'll do it for the top of the third inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and one runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the third inning with the score 5-0, Oaks lead. But so far it's been all Oaks offensively, and not really a lot of offense happening for Ventura County. They've had a runner on in each inning, just not able to get those crucial hits when it matters. Right, Ryan?
Yeah, they had two runners in scoring position early. They weren't able to capitalize on it in the first and second inning, respectively. And then a leadoff man on. When a leadoff man gets on, your chances to score go up astronomically. So you get a leadoff man on, especially a 9-hole hitter, flip the lineup over for your 1-2-3. Soberano made solid contact, drove it to the outfield. Reyna hit a line drive to right, so they made contact well, but they were not able to even advance the runner one base. And I'm not necessarily too sure if that is a factor of just bad luck hitting it into the wrong spot, or if it was Rivas, who did a great job locating his pitches, who has done a great job all day throughout the first 3 innings, not worrying about runners on base while he's keeping them honest with pickoffs. We saw a few pickoffs to Zamudio when he was on first in this inning as well. While we see him keeping attention to that runner, he's not focused on that runner while he's pitching. It's not affecting his pitch location, his pitch selection, and I think that is intentional. He's picking off the runner so that the runner stays honest, so that it doesn't affect his pitch selection, so that he can throw a breaking ball if he wants to. And I think that Rivas has done a great job of, with runners on, being able to maneuver around it. That's been really, I think, the highlight of the game so far.
So a new pitcher now for Ventura County. It's number 30, Josh Howitt, the 6'5", 200-pound left-handed pitcher, goes to LA Valley College after transferring from UCSB. He's a fourth-year junior because of how COVID has affected eligibility.
And now the Oaks, they're facing something different. They go from a right-handed pitcher to now a left-handed pitcher. It makes the matchups a little bit different. Will it affect how the Oaks have been able to drive the ball so far today? I think it's a good change for the Pirates. I think it's one that if they want to stay in this game, one that they should have gone to. And right now, we'll see, especially with Sharp, a leadoff hitter who's a lefty, how's he going to fare on this lefty-lefty matchup?
Yeah, 2 out of the next 3 batters are left-handed hitters. Sharp, the catcher, he's a lefty, as we see, as the first pitch from Howitt is outside for a ball. It rolls to the back of the plate, but he'll face Sharp, a lefty. Then he'll go to the righty, T.J. Foreman, the right fielder, and then the left fielder, Austin Carrillo, will come up for the Oaks. He's a left-handed hitter. So 2 of the next 3 are left-handed batters as Sharp hits a pop-up to left field, and Pacheco is over to make the play, and 1 away here in the bottom of the third inning.
And what I've seen from the first 2 pitches so far for Howitt is he has an arm slot that is a little bit further towards first base, so he has a sweeping motion, especially if he's trying to identify that outside corner to a left-handed hitter like Sharp. He has a sweeping motion, the ball runs away. So Sharp going opposite way, trying to sit on that ball, I think is smart. Right here with the right-handed hitter, trying to pull the ball.
As the first pitch to Foreman is in there for a strike, and already Howitt gets ahead 0-1. Not much of a height difference between the 2 pitchers. You had Stephen Miller, who is 6'6", and now you have Howitt, who's 6'5", so both very lengthy pitchers for Ventura County. But so far, the Oaks have been able to hit off those tall pitchers, as in the first 2 innings, they scored 5 runs off of Stephen Miller.
Yeah, and it was actually good that you called out a pitching change because I looked at it. You see a similar height, a similar number. The only thing different about this guy is he's a lefty.
Definitely is, as the pitch is outside for a ball. It was a breaking ball, and the count moves to 1-2 now.
And that's the first breaking ball we've seen from him so far. So is he going to rely on that pitch? Try to get strikeouts on that pitch, especially late in the count here.
As the 1-2 pitch is outside once again, count evens at 2-2. Foreman in the first inning grounded into a fielder's choice. He grounded that one to the second baseman, Zamudio. Zamudio went to second base, but Sharp slid in safely, and the inning continued. The Oaks scored 3 runs in that first inning, but now Foreman's worked his way back from an 0-2 count now to a full count at 3-2.
Yeah, and right now, the pitcher on the mound, Howitt, he dropped the ball, he had to retuck his shirt, and he's thrown 3 straight balls. He has to dial back in right now.
The payoff pitch is fouled away, and the at-bat will continue to Foreman.
And sometimes when you're a pitcher, when you're thinking about the other things, as you can see him after that pitch, he's still trying to retuck his shirt. It's small things like this where you might not even necessarily think it would matter to a pitcher, but it does, especially after 3 straight balls you're trying to dial in. I'm very impressed with the fact that he was able to get that pitch into his zone, induce a swing.
As Foreman hits that one to left center field, that's going to get down for a single, and TJ Foreman puts a runner on with 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And that's a great piece of hitting, a 7-pitch at-bat after going down 0-2, battles back, gets the count back to full, then fights off a pitch, and then is able to send one right over the shortstop's head into shallow center field. A perfect at-bat for TJ Foreman. It's exactly what you want, especially after you get down in the count early.
And you got to be on the lookout for TJ Foreman on the base paths. He holds the Ventura College record for stolen bases, and he's a dangerous threat on the base path, and he has a 1-out single as the pitch from Howitt is outside for a ball, 1-0 the count.
And right here on that lefty-lefty matchup, the ball runs from the first base side of the mound all the way to the outside part of the plate. You can see it sweeping across, and sometimes for an umpire, you see that movement going outside, especially on an outside pitch. It makes the strike zone a little bit smaller, even though it is harder for a batter to hit a lefty.
The 1-0 pitch is inside for a strike to Austin Carrillo.
And if you are Howitt, I think you do have to have confidence on throwing that inside because you are going to get that strike, especially with the movement. Carrillo thinks that's probably going to be somewhere inside, maybe even hit him. And then with the movement that it comes from the arm slot to the plate, it then finds the plate.
As now Foreman moves and he slides into second base safely as the ball got behind the catcher Hernandez. But even if it was there, I think that Foreman would have been there easily as his speed is just unmatched right now on the base paths.
Yeah, especially on a pitch in the dirt. Even if the catcher Hernandez gets that cleanly and is able to get up and throw, I still don't think he gets that to second anywhere near anywhere near where Foreman was getting to the bag.
So the Ventura College stolen base record holder steals second and puts a runner in scoring position with 1 away as he's off again. It's a hit and run. Carrillo grounds it up the middle, and now Foreman's going to score after it goes off the second baseman, Zamudio, and the Oaks extend the lead. It's 6-0.
And that's a very tough play for the second baseman. I'm not even counting that as an error. That is a ball up the middle that that's Zamudio, he tried to get to, hit off the heel of his glove. I thought that was going to be all the way dunked into center. It wasn't, but it does result in a run, especially when you look and you saw Foreman was stealing. There's a lot going on in that play, especially if you're Zamudio at second. It's a tough play to make, especially when you're trying to save a run from coming to the dish.
So Carrillo hits a ball up the middle on a hit and run play. Foreman would have easily stole third, it looked like, but he comes home on the play. And the Oaks have scored in each of the first 3 innings. It's 6-0. As now the first pitch is hit to the right fielder, and Naviak is retired. Ortega made the play on the first pitch to Naviak, and now 2 outs with a runner on first for the leadoff hitter, Reagan Burford.
Third inning, just as many at-bats for Burford right here. So he's been able to see pitches a lot. This time, he's now facing off against a different pitcher. We'll see how he fares. After his last at-bat, he got a double and ended up scoring.
Howitt, the lefty, set. Stares at first and now comes to the plate as the first pitch to Burford is in there for a strike. And he gets ahead now 0-1. Burford in the second inning, it's his third at bat like you were saying, but in the second inning he led off, or excuse me, didn't lead off, but he had the double after Naviak hit a triple to lead off the inning. He had the RBI on that play as well. As the pitch from Howitt is in there for a strike. And Howitt gets ahead now 0-2.
Now right here, if you Howitt, we've seen an 0-2 at bat already this inning where he ended up giving up a single after the batter worked the count full. He doesn't want to do that again here.
Howitt delivers and gets Burford swinging. So that'll do it for the third inning. The Oaks lead 6-0. We'll be right back for the top of the fourth inning right after the break. And we're back for the top of the fourth inning. I'm Knight Uretsky here, joined alongside Ryan Milano. Going to turn it over to Ryan now for him to do play-by-play for the next 3 innings. Ryan, take it away.
We do have a pitching change on the mound for the Oaks. We talked pregame with Coach Solis. He said we were going to see a lot of pitchers today. Tobias Plotkin now on the hill for the Oaks. He's facing off early against Ortega in his second at-bat for the Pirates.
Yep.
First time up, Ortega grounded out to shortstop. And this time he sends one into center. It's going to be a tough play. Shortstop tracking. Naviak able to get under it. First out of the inning as Ortega retired quickly.
Yeah, and an excellent start for Plotkin right there. Delivers 2 pitches and already gets an out. It was a soft hit ball to center field, but the shortstop Naviak comes over, makes the play, and already the Oaks are rolling again here in the top of the fourth inning.
And that brings up Taylor. Last at bat the double opposite way. We'll see how he fares. This pitch low, below the knees for a ball. Count at 1-0. Plotkin right now after getting 1 out on the first pitch, seeing his first at-bat. The 1-0 inside, now has to battle. Trying to get back in the count, and right now, if you're Taylor, sitting 2-0, Knight, what are you doing?
You know, I mean, sitting 2-0, your team hasn't really had a lot of success hitting the ball throughout the game. I think you guys got to wait here. I mean, it's a new pitcher, and just kind of sit on a ball.
Inside again, Plotkin. The count is now 3-0. Plotkin out of Glendale Community College. He saw some action last season, and now the 3-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. The count now 3-1. Actually, the umpire calls a foul tip. He saw something on the end of the bat. In the 2019-2020 season for Plotkin, he had 7 appearances with 5 starts and held a 1-0 record as the 3-1 swung on and skied into center. Back is Sandoval. He's under it, and he makes the catch. 2 down in the inning as Taylor gave it a ride, but not long enough.
Yeah, and already 2 balls hit to center field. We had the short hit ball to the shortstop, Naviak, and that one, it goes a little bit further, but that one, Sandoval's able to make the play. And so already 2 pop-ups that Plotkin has forced, and it's an excellent start for the southpaw.
Palace now steps up to the plate. First pitch swinging for a strike. Trenton Palace, now fielder out of Allen Hancock College. Eligibility as a sophomore. Eligibility all these years is getting all sorts of weird as this pitch misses low in the zone, 1-1. I'm not sure what anyone's eligibility is, but on the stat sheet, it says he's a sophomore. The 1-1. Squares to bunt. Perfect bunt down the third base line. Plotkin not going to throw, and reaching safely is Palace. And I don't think you could have placed it any better than that right there.
Yeah, that was a perfectly placed bunt. Went right down the third base line. I mean, it just stayed right on the dirt, but fair on the right side of the line. Can't make it a bunt better than that. And it's another inning with a runner on for the Ventura County Pirates.
Johnny Pacheco steps to the plate. Last time up, he grounded out as this one is fouled straight back. He grounded out to second base his last time up, as the count is now 0-1.
Yeah, no, Palace struck out on 4 pitches in his first at bat, got behind there, or got ahead early there, and had the bunt.
This pitch skied. Bobo tracking in foul territory outside of first, makes the grab, and the inning is over. Plotkin gets through his first inning of work with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a single man left on base. To the bottom of the 4th we go. In the first inning of work from Plotkin, Knight, what did you see?
Yeah, I mean, only 12 pitches thrown and a lot of pop-ups. You saw the pop-up to the shortstop, then you saw a pop-up to the center fielder, and right there you get them to fly out to the first baseman, Bobo. So 3 fly ball outs for Plotkin, and, you know, that's very impressive. He continues the momentum that's been happening. But for Ventura County, on the other hand, they've had 1 runner on in each of the innings. They just haven't had much success with that. They're getting the runners on. They're just not getting the crucial hits. And it's only a bunt single that really has done it or did it in that inning. But other than that, just not a lot of success.
Yeah, and I mean, a bunt single, it's not hard contact, but I don't think we can knock it. It was Palace knew exactly what he was doing. He laid one right down the line, and he knew, especially with the lefty pitcher on the mound, if he placed it exactly where he did, especially with the lefty pitcher, it's going to be a tough play. Grab with the glove, spin, and throw. With the righty, you can barehand it and then throw it over to first. With a lefty, it's a lot harder to make that play. So a soft bunt that's out of the reach of the catcher, force the pitcher to field it. I don't know how many PFPs you can do. I don't know how many plays. I don't know which pitcher is making a play on that ball. I think that was a single all the way around.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a single no matter what. I mean, it was a heck of a bunt. But really, if your only offense is one bunt single, it's just not going to have a lot of success. But if you're Ventura County, in each of the innings, you left one runner on base. So 4 runners left on base when you trail 6-0. That's a stat at the end of the game that you're going to think about as the game goes on.
Stepping up into the batter's box, leading off the inning, it's Bobo for the Oaks. This pitch inside, had to duck out of the way, was Brendan Bobo. Ended up diving out of the way. First pitch just results in a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, and before the inning had started, I saw Howitt throw a couple of balls that were very, very inside on that side of the plate, and we saw it again right there.
Check swing from Bobo on the 1-0, call it 1-1. Last time up, Bobo hit a double. First time up, a single. He's halfway to the cycle. He's got the hard half left, but he does have 2 hits on 2 at-bats. As the third pitch of the at-bat fouled straight back, 1-2. This is his first time seeing Howitt today, though. And Bobo is a lefty, so a lefty-lefty matchup. We'll see how that affects the way that he's been able to swing the bat early in this game.
Yeah, and Howitt had more success.
Check swing again. Popped up foul on to the roof right above us, or right above the fans on the first base side, or the third base side, rather, over on the home side of the field. We'll do 1-2 over again.
Yeah, and to continue with that thought, Howitt had more success than Miller. Miller threw 52 pitches through the first 2 innings.
And Bobo is plunked. That hit him right on the back. That can't feel good, but he pops right up, throws off his gear, gives a peace sign to the dugout, and trots his way over to first. A hit by a pitch. Bobo has reached base 3 times in 3 at-bats.
Yeah, and you mentioned he had the hard part of the cycle going, or that he would have to do to get the cycle with the triple and the home run. But, you know, it's the 4th inning, it's his 3rd at bat, and he just got hit by a pitch. So he can still hit for the cycle potentially and have that hit by a pitch, which would be an even more impressive feat in my books if you have the 4 hits and a hit by a pitch.
I'm not sure if we should be calling the cycle just yet. We are still in the 4th inning as this pitch flared into right field. It drops inside the line. Bobo's headed for 3rd. Headed to 2nd is Sandoval. He's in there safely. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. We have 2 in scoring position with no one down in the inning. And Sandoval fought it off. Got it over the first baseman's head, inside the line, and legged his way to 2nd to bring up Capozzi, now with 2 runners in scoring position.
And it's another example of the Oaks using the opposite field. We've seen them use that multiple times throughout the game, and it's had a lot of success for them. We saw Noviak hit a triple going opposite field, and then we saw Burford hit a double going opposite field. That time, Sandoval goes opposite field and gets a double.
Howitt gets a strike outside at the knees to start off this at-bat to Capozzi. 0-1 the count. Capozzi cuts through the 0-1, call it 0-2. That pitch also right at the knees, right down the middle of the plate. Capozzi could not make contact on it, and now he has to battle from 2 down. And right here, if you're Capozzi, you're trying to make contact on the ball, try to ground it to the right side to score a run. And he waves at a pitch. Howitt gets 1 out here in the inning. Now, the runners do not advance. It brings a lot of pressure to Smith, who steps to the plate.
And Capozzi, his last at-bat, he struck out on 5 pitches. And then this at-bat, he strikes out on 3 pitches. And so it's just a completely different type of at-bat. His first at-bat, he walked. He got ahead early. It was a 6-pitch walk. This time, back-to-back case for Capozzi.
First pitch to Smith. Fouled off the right field side into the parking lot. Maybe if one of these fans wants to go and get a souvenir, they can go run and track that one down.
I mean, hey, it's a pretty cool souvenir. Be in Thousand Oaks just walking down the sidewalk, and hey, you could get a ball.
The perks of being broadcasters at the Conejo Oaks is we can just pick up a ball whenever we want. The 0-1 Sky down the right field line. Make that 2 souvenirs. That one's headed to the parking lot as well to make sure our cars are okay. And it looks like no damage done. But now, right here, Grant Smith down 0-2. We're on 2 runners in scoring position. If you're the Oaks, right here it's situational hitting. You're trying to at least score 1 run in this inning, hopefully 2, if you have 2 runners in scoring position with no down. As strikeout looking, the first looking strikeout for either team on the day. Grant Smith thought he saw one inside. It caught the edge of the zone. And now it's Andrew Sharp. 2 down quickly in the inning after 2 strikeouts. Howitt, after giving up that double, has just been pumping the strike zone.
Yeah, no, the back-to-back batters. You get Smith to strike out looking. Like you said, it was the first time any batter had struck out looking. And, you know, Smith just really didn't like that call. You could see right as he left the plate, he just rolled his eyes and disagreed with that call.
Yeah, and we've seen the umpires so far today call inside pitches a lot for strikes, as that time a pitch catches the outside part of the zone for a strike. But we've seen a few times, whether it's a righty or lefty batter, the inside part of the zone be called for strikes at a much higher rate than we've seen a little bit of these outside further pitches. Now time called, and everyone's looking into right field. I'm not sure why, but it looks like we're back and ready to go. It might have just been Howitt stepping off of the rubber. The 0-1 inside. And that's a pitch that, last at bat, similarly inside pitch to Smith, was called a strike. This one, Sharp turned his shoulder. It was close to hitting him. We talked about that arm slot with it being closer to first base, slicing in. It's a little bit tougher if you're a left-handed batter, as right here, catches the outside corner, 1-2.
And again, Howitt gets ahead in the count. You know, 1-2 count, had 2 runners on. You saw the bullpen get active. There's actually 3 pitchers in the bullpen right now warming up. There's only 2 mounds to pitch. One pitcher's just there trying to warm up, and it's.
He might be protector. He might be trying to protect the pitchers that are warming up. And strike 3, 3 consecutive strikeouts as Howitt gets out of the inning. 2 runners in scoring position. It did not matter as we saw Josh Howitt fan 3 in a row to sit the Oaks down and bring Plotkin back to the hill. How did he do it that inning after giving up a hit by pitch, a double, having 2 runners in scoring position? How did he fan 3 in a row?
Well, you know, he just got ahead in the count. You go to Capozzi, he gets 3 straight strikes to strike him out. Smith, he goes ahead and gets a 1-2 count for himself. He strikes out Smith looking on 4 pitches. Then Sharp right there gets ahead in the count once again and gets Sharp swinging. And so far for Howitt, he's been doing a really good job getting ahead right after getting those 2 runners on in scoring position and really just shut out the Oaks to prevent any more damage. But that was only the first inning. The Oaks did not score all game.
And that's impressive. If you're a Conejo and that's the only inning you haven't scored and you get 2 in scoring position, I think you're feeling pretty good about yourselves, especially when you're up 6-0. But when you're up 6-0 like this, you definitely can't write off this ball game. But early in the season, it's a lot about situations, situational hitting, and being able to, even if it's just a 1-game scenario, it might not be a factor in the end result of this game. It might be a factor in the result of one of the next 39 games throughout the season. So you want these hitters that are in the lineup to be able to get runners to advance when they're in scoring position, get situational hitting. In a high leverage spot like we saw last inning, you want your hitters to come up in that spot and get that practice. It might not be as consequential in this game given it's a 6-run lead, but it is something that you want to be done in further games when it might be a one-run lead or a one-run deficit when you're trying to come back. Stepping into the box first for the Pirates is Hernandez. He cuts through the first pitch from Plotkin. That was right down Main Street. He just missed it. The catcher was not able to barrel it up. 0-1 the count, and Plotkin is pitching fast. The second pitch low for a ball, 1-1, and Plotkin's in a rhythm right now.
Yeah, Plotkin is in a rhythm. He kind of reminds me of like Oregon Duck pitcher Robert Ulstrom. I know we both go to the University of Oregon, but Robert Ulstrom in the same way just gets locked in and just wastes no time and delivers right to the plate.
This one cut on into left field. There for the catch is Carrillo, and Hernandez is retired. A line drive, but right at the left fielder. It was a little bit shallow, but the wheels on Carrillo as well as the placement of the ball not able to result in a single, which it might have been most other parts of the park.
Yeah, and already the fourth out for Plotkin, and all four of those outs have been fly balls, all to the outfield, except for one that was an out or a foul ball just or beyond the first base line.
First pitch to Zamudio is outside for a ball. That was an off-speed pitch. Plotkin brings a fastball, curveball, changeup combination. That was his curveball. This pitch sliced down the right field line, but foul. The count now 1-1 to Zamudio. The last time up, he was hit by a pitch in the leadoff spot, but was not able to advance past first base. The 1-1 inside for a ball, 2-1. Right now, at a 2-1 count, it's high leverage. Pitcher could get ahead, batter could get ahead. This has to be a good pitch from Plotkin, located well. On the outside part of the plate, flared into right field is Zamudio. He's on board for a single. It's the second time today he's reached base, and it'll be interesting to see if the 1, 2, 3 hitters can advance him, which they did not do in the third inning when he reached aboard leadoff. This time, he's on with one down in the inning.
Yeah, he reached in the top of the third inning, got hit by a pitch. Then you had Soberano, he flew out to left field. Then Reyna flew out to right field. And then Ajamian grounded out to the third baseman. So, will be interesting to see, like you said, how the Ventura County Pirates will do if they're going to make the improvements we've seen throughout the game. They've gotten a runner on in every single inning, but they've left that runner on in every single inning. That's why the score is 6-0 right now. They're going to need to start to have their bats heat up with the runners on if they want to make a comeback in this game.
A pinch hitter for Soberano. Gonzalez comes to the plate, swings through the first pitch. 0-1. Plotkin gets a strike early against Gonzalez, who is a first/third baseman, but today in the lineup, he's replacing the DH spot, so he will not play in the field unless the substitution is made. He skies one to right, tracking back at the wall. It's out of here! It kept going. 320 to right. It snuck right inside the foul pole, and it's now 6-2 as Steven Gonzalez gets the Pirates on the board for the first time today. They finally score their first run on the long ball.
Yeah, and Gonzalez coming into this game, he had a double, so we are talking about how many extra base hits the Ventura County Pirates had. They had only had 3 coming into this game, 4 with the double they had earlier in the game. And this time, Gonzalez gets his second extra base hit. This time, it's a home run over the right field fence and finally puts the Pirates on the board.
Reyna comes to the plate. First pitch, skies it back. I didn't think that was gone off the bat. I thought that was foul, and I thought it was going to be in play for Foreman to get, and it just kept going. It didn't tail off as much as I thought it was going to off the end of the bat, and it snuck right inside that pole. And once again, another souvenir for a fan. Plotkin gets Reyna swinging. He's now down in the count 0-2. Off-speed pitch from Plotkin, located low in the zone, and he's ready to go. You mentioned the rhythm. He's waiting for Reyna to get back into the box so he can pitch right away, and he gets him swinging on a ball in the dirt. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and a strikeout swinging. for Plotkin. That is his first K of the day.
And all the outs prior were all fly ball outs. This time finally gets a K, but it's similar to the response of how it got those 2 runners on. It was like the Oaks were threatening, and then he dialed in and got a strikeout. That was a huge play, and let's see if Plotkin can ride that momentum.
A Jamian steps into the box, cuts at a pitch up in the zone, does not make contact. He's down 0-1. And right now you see a Jamian. I'm not sure if it's purposeful or if he actually needed to adjust his helmet, but Plotkin, when he gets the ball back, is trying to get into his rhythm. A Jamian takes off his helmet, messes with his hair, then steps back into the box. For Plotkin, that's not what he wants. He wants to just catch and throw. This pitch outside 1-1. I was listening to an interview with Lucas Giolito, a Hall of Fame, not Hall of Fame, an all-star pitcher for the White Sox. He said if he's in the zone, he just wants to catch and throw. And for Plotkin, after that strikeout, you think he just wants to catch and throw the ball. He gets in that rhythm, and he's quickly here now after his rhythm was interrupted, now at 2-1 after that ball.
Can't say it better myself, Ryan.
The 2-1 inside, 3-1 the count. Plotkin now behind 3 straight balls for Tobias Plotkin. He is trying to battle back. He is not a strikeout pitcher, but one that can get strikeouts in 25 2/3 innings. As this one is skied back, worked the count full. In 25 2/3 innings at Glendale Community College in 2019, he had 26 strikeouts, so an average of just about 1 strikeout per inning. So you'll see him get strikeouts in that fashion, but it's not an overpowering pitcher. He can do it, and right here he's trying to get his second of the inning. Second in a row, too. The full count. Low, and a Jamian will walk to first, a free pass, and that is going to bring Ortega to the box.
Yeah, that's a tough battle for Plotkin. You know, got ahead early with the strike. Then a Jamian takes off his helmet, messes with his rhythm, finally gets back to a point where he can make it a full count. And then a Jamian just battles, is patient, gets the walk, and it's another base runner for the Pirates.
And it's not going to be Ortega coming to the box. Another pitch hitter in the inning, Ian McIntyre, steps to the plate. McIntyre, he is out of Lynn Benton Community College. That's in Oregon. That is not far from the University of Oregon, in which me and Unite, we attend.
Yeah, Lynn Benton Community College is actually near where I'm actually from, where my family lives in Sweet Home, Oregon. That is in Lynn County, which is the name for Lynn Benton Community College. So really close to my hometown now. But it's cool to see him playing ball down here.
McIntyre hits one high in the air, center field, Sandoval underneath it. Makes the grab, and the inning is retired. Plotkin gets out of it after he gives up the long ball. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base for Plotkin. But he does maneuver around the inning. The home run does not rattle him. He bounces back, does not give up any more runs in the inning, and now sends it to the home half of the inning. We'll send it to the bottom of the 5th. But in that inning, we finally saw the Pirates get on the board, and it was the long ball. So we haven't seen this team be an extra base hits type of team the entire season, but right there, they get their only runs of the game on the extra base hits. What did you see from that?
Well, yeah, like you said, they get the run on the home run, and that's pretty much all that's done of it. They got another runner on base, and that's another runner they left on base. So far in this game, they've had 5 runners left on base, and they trail right now by 4. So if they bring home all of those runners that they leave on base, they would be leading in this game. So far, right now, if you're Ventura County, you just need to have your bats start to heat up a little bit more. I mean, obviously you get blessed with the Gonzalez home run, but, you know, being down 6 to being down only 4, that's a lot closer. I mean, you can still tie the game with 3 runners on. Like, that is one hit away from being a tie game. And, you know, throughout the MLB this whole season, we've seen batters come up with the bases loaded, down by 4 or 3 runs, and they take the lead or tie it. And, you know, you'd have to be in a happier position if you're Ventura County right now.
Foreman leading off for the Oaks in the bottom of the 5th. Squares to bunt, pulls back. It's a ball, 1-0. We saw it just last night. Another Southern California game. The San Diego Padres, they were up 2-0 headed to the 9th. The Reds put up a 4 spot, and then immediately after, the Padres put up a 4 spot in the bottom half of the inning as this pitch by Foreman fouled back. The count 1-1 now. So we've seen 4 runs be scored, and we've seen it. It's not unfathomable to score 4 runs. That's in reach. When it's 6 runs, you just have to chip away at the lead, and that right now is what the Pirates are doing.
Yeah, and only 4 hits compared to 6 hits for the Oaks. The Oaks are just being more efficient. They've scored 6 runs on those 6 hits, and that's really the difference in this game. They're just executing with their runners on base.
Foreman looks at a ball in at the knees. The count is 1-2. Howitt trying to go for his 4th strikeout in a row and just misses the outside part of the plate. I'm looking right down at that outside part of the plate, and it just missed. A great call by the umpire.
Yeah, but I think also it had to do with Hernandez trying to frame that ball too much. He did try to bring it a little bit too much in front of the plate, and maybe the umpire thought maybe that was too outside, and the frame job didn't actually help. It may have hurt the call.
The 1-2 grounded outside of the third base bag. Almost hits the catcher in the bullpen for Conejo, who is warming up another pitcher for the Oaks. Cody Sulak almost got one bounced right off of his rear end. Just missed, and it's probably a good thing too, but it is 1-2 the count to Foreman. Check swing, just misses. He held back. The count is now 2-2, much to the chagrin of the Pirates fans. They do not like it.
No, they do not, but nevertheless, the umpire is going to make that call. I mean, we've seen throughout this game him be a little bit inconsistent, calling that near side of the plate. That time he calls it a ball, and the count is full at 3-2.
The 2-2, cut on and missed. 4 straight strikeouts for Howitt. He sat down Capozzi, Smith, and Sharp in the 4th, and now starts off the 5th, sitting down TJ Foreman as he swings through up and inside. Fastball could not catch up, and now will trot back to the dugout, and that brings up Austin Carrillo.
Yeah, and really right now, Howard's just on a roll. Back-to-back 6-pitch strikeouts after having a 3-pitch strikeout and a 4-pitch strikeout prior to that. But he's just throwing a lot of strikes right now, and he's in a rhythm.
First pitch in there for another strike, and he's been getting ahead in the last few counts. What we saw from him early in the 4th inning was he got behind in counts, he allowed 2 base runners. Then he got ahead in the next 3 counts, ended up striking out batters. He got ahead in the count to Foreman. He then starts off a strike to Carrillo. The 0-1 just misses 1-1, and that's, I believe, the first ball that we've seen, at least in the last 2 batters, before it's been a 2-strike count.
Yeah, it has, but really just getting ahead really has been what has been the difference for Howitt.
The 1-1, line to center, drops in front of Palace, and the strikeout streak is over. Carrillo makes his way aboard, his second hit of the game, his second single of the game, and that is going to bring up Naviak, the 9-hole hitter, to try to bring him aboard. In the second, Naviak hit a triple down the right field line, and in the 3rd inning, he flied out to right field. So he's been going the opposite way. Will he do it again is the question. Pickoff attempt for Howitt, throws over to first. A Jamian there at first makes the catch and throws it right back to Howitt.
And going back to Carrillo, both of the bats were against Howitt, the lefty, and he's a lefty batter, and both very, very similar. He got to a 1-1 count and then hit a single. So both times he's faced Howitt, It was the very exact same at bat. So it's kind of interesting to see as the game progresses how he'll do, and maybe even throughout the season, how he'll do against lefty pitchers.
It's a very strong point. See the lefty-lefty matchup. Naviak swings at one down the right field line. It stays inside the line. Carrillo rounding third. He's held up at third. It's a stand-up double for Naviak. And I'm not sure if Carrillo got the best jump on that ball because it was deep into the corner. And a speedster like Carrillo, we've seen the wheels that he's put on so far today. He's fast. I think if he got a better jump on that ball, it would be a 7-2 ball game.
Yeah, he could have gotten a better jump right there, but how about Naviak once again goes opposite field, this time gets the double instead of the triple. But, you know, if you're the 9-hole hitter, it's the first game of the year. This is the time where you try to stand out and make the coaches see, hey, I can play. And right now, having a triple and a double going opposite field through only the first 5 innings of baseball, it's pretty impressive for the shortstop.
Yeah, and even his line out in the third, it was a hard hit ball to right. This ball grounded down the third base side. The play is made. Taylor with the spectacular play. Got it right inside the bag on a chopper. Threw on to first. And Burford is retired on the first pitch.
Yeah, that's a heck of a play right there. When you're drifting to your right side, you flip your shoulders, try to throw with your momentum going the other direction. And that was a heck of a play right there by Taylor. Taylor was doing a really good job earlier for Ventura County as he hit a double, but that time able to show the defense to go along with the offense he displayed earlier.
Brendan Bobo now steps in the second inning in a row that we've had runners on second and third, as this time Bobo squares one off, and it is going to be 8 up by Reyna at short. The run is going to score. Carrillo comes across. Naviak advances to third, and Bobo credited with a single, his third hit of the day, the 4th time he's reached base on the day. The performance from Brendan Bobo to be able, not a hard hit ball right there, but a perfectly placed one where Reyna, it was going to be a tough play. Even if he would have made the throw on to first, it wouldn't have been there in time. And the Oaks score another run.
Yeah, that's the second time in this game the Oaks have scored a run on a ball hit in the infield. We saw that earlier in the third inning when Foreman was able to score on a ball hit right up the middle when it was a hit and run play. But already another run for the Oaks. It's 7-2.
Sandoval steps into the box. And this pitch hit him. He's going to advance to first, and the bases are now juiced, bringing up Capozzi. Actually, a pinch hitter for Capozzi. It is going to be number 19, Lauren Frank of L.A. Valley College. He is a transfer from Loyola Marymount, LMU, here in Los Angeles. So he stayed a Los Angeles native. And now he's stepping into the box, high leverage situation. Bases juiced, 2 down. We'll see how he comes out of it here after Howitt having a nice start to the inning, 4 straight strikeouts. Now is having to battle back. It's the first pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, and Frank, he is a big frame. He's 6'3", 235 pounds, and he's a very muscular individual. It's crazy because he's a 4th-year sophomore because of how the COVID eligibility has resulted in things.
Frank lines one to left center field, tracking in left. The diving play not made. 2 runs are going to score. A third is going to score. Frank, a stand-up double. A bases clearing 2-out stand-up pinch hit double for Lauren Frank, and the Oaks are up 10-0 now in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that is how you get it done as a pinch hitter. We talked to Dave Solis before the game. He said, we're going to see a lot of substitutions off the bench, given this is the first game. We're trying to see what we have. This is the first substitution we saw on the field. He was able to drive in a double just outside the arms of Pacheco. and now he's standing at second base.
Yeah, and I honestly did not think that was going to be a hit. I thought the left fielder, Pacheco, had a really good read on it. Just goes off of his glove and it falls with 2 outs. I mean, all the runners are running, obviously. And so you get 3 runs to score. And like we were saying before the inning, it's a 6-2 game. It's 4 runs. That's manageable. But now the Oaks have scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's an 8-run game. What a change of events in this bottom half of the 5th.
A strike in there to Smith. And this is the first game with the scoreboard. We only have the score up to 9. We are inserting the 10 spot right now. We're sort of banking on the fact that it would be a single-digit ball game, but all the technical difficulties are ironed out as this pitch, pass ball, Frank advances his way to third. And now there are a runner now just 90 feet away from home.
Yeah, before the game we were both talking, we were saying, hey, maybe it'll be like a 9-7 game, but having 10 runs already, and it's only the 5th inning, it's been quite the offensive show for the Oaks so far.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work hard over here to try to insert the scoreboard while also calling the game, as this ball by Grant grounded outside the third base bag. That's what happened. There were quite a bit of technical difficulties over the 3 days prior to the start. The scoreboard was a last night type of operation, and we did our best. But we will have to insert the score as we go along, like so.
And that'll do it for this inning as Smith strikes out swinging. Ryan, you keep working at that scoreboard, but
we got the scoreboard straightened out. Thank you for taking over on that strikeout.
We're going to take a break here as we head to the top of the 6th inning. The Oaks lead 10-2. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back into the top of the 6th inning. Darren Taylor steps into the box for the Pirates, and a new pitcher on the hill for the Oaks. Chris Torres out of UC Riverside is going to make his first appearance for the Oaks on the hill. The right-hander facing off against the right-hander in Taylor. First pitch swung on and right back where it came from into center. First pitch single for Taylor. And that is not the start you want if you are Chris Torres.
No, right off the bat, first pitch gets right back up the middle like you said. Taylor gets his second hit of the game. He had a double earlier in the second inning. We were impressed by that. Makes a heck of a play defensively this past inning in the fifth at third base, and now gets a single. He's really doing a lot of work for this Ventura County team.
Torres checking the runner at first. We've seen these pitchers do that a lot. Every single one. We've seen Plotkin throw over. We saw Rivas in the first few innings throw over. And now we see again Torres. He throws over twice. It seems to be a rhythm of these Oaks pitchers where they throw over 2 times and then they come to the dish. So expect this one to be at the plate. And if he throws over again, then I'm wrong. First pitch inside just misses the body of Palace. It is now 1-0 as the count.
Yeah, and you stay right, Ryan. Not going to have the jinx there for you, but, delivers to the plate. It's inside, but, after they threw back to first 2 times the first time, Ventura County ended up trying to steal. Be interesting to see what they'll do.
This one skied into left center field. Sandoval stays underneath it, makes the catch. The runner retreats back to first. It's an F8 for Palace to bring up Pacheco. Actually, pinch hitter for Pacheco. It's going to be Sean Martin. He is a outfielder out of the College of Canyons.
It's in Santa Clarita, California.
College of Canyons. It's such a cool name. I wish I went to... they should change the name of the University of Oregon to the College of Canyons.
No. Ryan, get out of here. The College of the Canyons is, all right, it's a junior college. I know a lot of people that go to COC. I've actually been there for a football game. I've been there a couple of times for some high school graduations. And it's a lovely little junior college in the Santa Clarita Valley.
And a sweeping breaking ball from Torres just misses the zone up. That's a ball. 1-0 the count early to man. This pitch swung on the outside. It's 1-1.
And so far for Torres, got the fly out right after giving up the first pitch single, and he looks a little bit more dialed in.
This pitch misses low, 2-1 the count. He's now working against man. As a pitcher, especially in the first game of the season, you're just trying to get an out. Your first out, start to get in rhythm, then you start feeling confident on the mound. It's a new mound, it's a new team, it's a new coach. As this pitch low again, 3-1. It's all about rhythm, especially when you're pitching. It's rhythm, consistency. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing when you're on the mound, and it's about finding that first out. This pitch bounced, and it's a 5-pitch walk. Man makes his way to first. And Torres did already get his first out on that line out to center. But it's about drawing that weak contact, getting in a rhythm, especially with the runner on base. Trying your best to just get into the flow in a new game with a new catcher and a new team. It's the rhythm, especially when you're pitching.
It definitely is. And Torres, he didn't pitch this past season at UC Riverside. It looks like Looks like he's waited a couple of years since coming back because of the COVID year. And that's one of the things that Coach Solis was really high on, is to see how these guys respond.
This ball lined into right field. Hernandez lines out to right, and the tag up by Taylor. He makes his way to third. Now runners on the corners with 2 down in the inning.
And going back to that point, how these players will respond this year after not having a season to play. You know, he's really excited for these guys to get back out and play some baseball. It's the first time in a while for a lot of these guys, and Torres is one of them as he comes to the mound, but had a pretty decent record in 2019-2020 with that 2-1 record. Out here playing ball in beautiful Thousand Oaks over the summer, though.
A pinch hitter, Joshua Serpa, steps into the plate, and the first pitch to him, low and outside for a ball, 1-0. Serpa, a middle infielder from Glendale Community College. There are a few Glendale Community College players on the Oaks, so he's familiar with this Conejo team as he looks at a ball in the zone. The count is 1-1.
Yeah, and Serpa really just didn't like that pitch at all. Saw him look straight up to the sky and was like, wow, I can't believe he called that a strike.
The 1-1. Swung on and grounded to second. The play thrown on to first. Smith to Bobo, the 4-3, and the inning has ended. Ventura County strands 2 on 1 hit, no errors, and no runs scored. We will take a quick break. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks headed up to bat. Here for the bottom of the 6th inning, replacement pitcher on the hill, Ethan Durant, takes the mound for the Pirates. Andrew Sharp, the catcher, steps in for his 4th plate appearance of the day. This is going to be another lefty. Durant, the first pitch. High and outside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that Ventura County goes back with another lefty. Saw that how it had way more success than the righty Miller to start the game.
Sharp looks at one. The count is now 1-1, and you're absolutely right. Well,
I mean, he had 4 strikeouts compared to only a strikeout for Miller.
Sharp fouls one straight back. It is now 1-2.
But towards the end of that last inning, we did see how it get hit a little bit. We saw the 3-run double from Frank. But prior to that, he was really dealing for a while.
The 1-2 to Sharp. Breaking ball finds the zone. Backwards K. Andrew Sharp caught looking. The umpire liked that pitch. Sharp did not, shaking his head back to the dugout.
No, he didn't like that pitch, and it was very similar to a strikeout I saw from Grant Smith in the 4th inning where he struck out looking. But, this is the same part of the lineup that came up to the plate when they went with the southpaw the last time for Ventura County. You have Andrew Sharp, the catcher, who's a lefty. Then you have TJ Foreman, who's up to the plate now. He's a righty. And then you had Austin Carrillo. He came up, and he's a lefty. Carrillo's not on deck right now. Looks like Conejo's going to have a pinch hitter coming up. But you can see why Ventura County went with the lefty in that situation where you had 2 out of 3 batters that were supposed to go in order be left-handed hitters.
TJ Foreman, the man in the box, he fouled off the first pitch down the first base line. Second pitch rips right back up the middle. He's going to be aboard with a single. And that's going to bring up the pinch hitter, as you mentioned, number 10. That's Hunter Call. He is a freshman at Santa Barbara Community College, and he is pinch hitting for Carrillo. Carrillo in the dugout might not be too happy about that. He's had hits on back-to-back at-bats. But first game of the season, have to give everybody chances. Hunter Call gets his here in the 8th spot with a runner on first. First pitch strike into Call.
Yeah, and Carrillo, like you said, he had back-to-back hits those last 2 innings. But in the 3rd inning, he had an RBI after Foreman stole second base and then ran to third on a hit and run. Foreman ended up scoring on that hit and run play as Carrillo hit one up the middle.
Second pitch to Call, up and away, 1-1 the count. And Foreman is someone who has speed on the base pass. He's stolen a base already in this game. He's someone who definitely makes a catcher work, makes a pitcher be wary of him, and we haven't seen Ventura County pick off that much. We've seen 1 throw over all day today as the 1-1 inside, call it 2-1. We've only seen 1 throw over to first base. We haven't seen the Pirates be keeping the runners honest that much, and with speedsters like TJ Foreman on the base paths, you have to be a little bit more wary of what they're going to do. And he's going. Ball slowly rolled to second base. The play not made. Both runners are going to be safe. I'm going to call that a single in the books. It's a hit and run.
Yep.
A hit and run, and now there's runners on second and first with 1 down in the inning.
Yeah, that play was really made because of Foreman. The second baseman was in position right around that area, but then Foreman goes. He steals second on the play. It's a hit-and-run opportunity. Once again, same play we saw in the 3rd. It's a hit-and-run with Foreman on the base path. It brings the second baseman towards the bag more. That ball's hit towards the middle of the gap between the first and second base. So really, without Foreman trying to steal second, that is an out. That is an out.
And it is a new second baseman. Serpa stepped into the game. This is his first inning in the field in the game. He pinch hit for Zamudio last inning. So His first play where a ball comes towards him ends up not being able to make it, and that brings up JT Naviak to the box, now with 2 runners on. Durant. This pitch fouled back behind home plate, out of play.
Yeah, that ball went out of the stadium. There was 2 fans walking, and the ball landed right in front of them. You could see them jump. They were not ready for that, and it's lucky that they didn't get hurt right there.
Yeah, I believe there's a gym or a rec center right behind us as this ball is slapped into right field. The runner is being sent home. Foreman, the play at the plate, not there, advancing to second, and the throw into center field as Naviak headed to second. Now a run's going to score as Call dives in. 2 runs score for the Oaks, make it a 12-2 ball game on a flare into right field. And if you just keep running with the errors that Ventura County has been making today, you're probably going to be scoring runs, advancing bases, and that's exactly what happened right there. Call scored all the way from first. Foreman legged out to home from second. That forced the bad throw, and then Durant, the throw from right field, airmailed the catcher. Durant caught it, and then airmailed the throw to second, trying to get Naviak. This is going to bring up the leadoff man.
Yeah, that's just your typical 9-1 to 8 play right there. It's not going to result in any outs, but Naviak at second.
First pitch into Burford is low for a ball, 1-0. Now cut on, ground ball to shortstop. Throw to first is in time. The stretch by a Jamian at first. Actually, a Jamian, I'm pretty sure, got... No, it is a Jamian at first. He does not get subbed out. That was a beautiful stretch. Did the full splits, the full gymnastics, and was able to just get the ball in the back of his mitt before Burford was able to touch the bag.
Yeah, and Burford's really struggling in this game. He only has 1 hit in 4 plate appearances. It's another ground out for him.
He does have a double in this game. He does have an RBI, I believe, in this game. So not struggling too much, but
compared to the rest of the team, I would say, yeah.
In
maybe.
a 12-2 ball game compared to the rest of the team, maybe. But if you're coming out of the day with a RBI on a double, you're not feeling too bad about yourself, even if it is a 1-for-5 day.
It's fair.
Bobo looks at a pitch low and away.
But being the leadoff hitter, I'd say that if you're going 1-for-4 and the rest of your team is getting on base multiple times, I'd say maybe you're struggling a little bit compared to like the rest of the guys, especially as a leadoff hitter.
That's true, and I think a lot of it has to do with Coach Soli's. This is his first time with a lot of these players too. He doesn't know who's the great leadoff guy. He doesn't know who should be batting in what order. We talk about the leadoff guy, and he's supposed to be the one with the best average, supposed to be the one who it works walks, gets on base, gets contact, but it's entirely new team. The coaches don't know what they have as much as we don't necessarily even know the entire lineup and how it's supposed to run. So I'm not even sure as this pitch gets in there for a strike count, I believe is 2-1, as the pitch, the coaches, they don't know what they necessarily have, and everyone's just trying to work out what they can do at the dish, what they can do at this level. For a lot of these guys, it might be their even first collegiate wood bat league, as this pitch fouled straight back, 2 strikes. Knight, do you have 2 balls or 3?
I currently have 3, I believe, as well. I actually meant to say he's actually now 1-for-5 on the game. I said 1-for-4. He has 4 ground outs and a strikeout, and as well as the double and RBI. But right now I do have 3 strikes, and it's a 3-2 full count, I believe.
Full count to Bobo. Cut on just outside of the first base bag. We'll do it again.
Bobo's reached every time he's come up so far.
It's been a fantastic day for Brendan Bobo when you have
Yeah.
2 singles, a double, and a hit by pitch. 1 run scored. He has an RBI. It's a fantastic day.
Has a chance for another RBI here.
2 runs scored, actually, as this ball grounded outside of the third base bag. So, full count yet again. He had a run scored in the first and a run scored in the 5th. As well as an RBI in the 2nd.
I believe he was thrown out, actually, in the first.
Was he?
Yeah, I believe it was Sandoval grounded into the fielder's choice.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Bobo
right.
was out at second.
Had it right the first time as this ball is outside. And Bobo works a walk. He's on base for the 5th time today.
It's okay, Ryan. It's the first game of this season. I know we're both a little rusty, but, we're fighting through.
We're doing our best out here. It's our first game of the season. And
We had a lot of issues prior to coming in that.
I'm not going to make excuses.
I'm not making
I just missed Anyways, pinch hitter in the game here. Brendan Durfee is going to come in and pinch hit for Sandoval. First pitch to Durfee. Inside for a strike. Catches the outside plate inside of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Runners on first and second.
And Durfee playing in his home ballpark. He's a player here at Cal Lutheran.
Big sweeping breaking ball in there for a strike from Durant. Came right inside the front door, and the count's 0-2.
And Durfee behind 0-2 right now is a very unusual feat for him. He led Cal Lutheran with a 14 walk in last season, so, he's used to getting ahead of the count.
And he flares one into left. The diving play not made. Coming around to score is Naviak. Coming around to score behind him is Bobo. Headed to third is Durfee, who is in there for a triple as there was all sorts of commotion out in left field. They finally get the ball in, and it's a triple, and that's going to make it a 14-2 ball game. Lauren Frank, he's coming in for his second at-bat of the game. Last time, he came up with 2 outs. Came up with a bases-clearing double with the bases loaded. First pitch to him. Breaking ball, just misses the zone, 1-0.
Yeah, that last hit by Durfee, I really thought he had a chance at going all the way around for an inside-the-park home run. After it got behind the left fielder, they didn't send him, but...
Pass ball. Here comes Durfee to the plate. They didn't need to send him. He's home anyways. And that's going to make it 15-2, Oaks lead.
It's an offensive onslaught here at Sparky Anderson Field.
And right now, if you're the Oaks, if you're looking at this game and you're stacking it up to the Saints, who this Ventura County team has played twice already, as this pitch up in the zone. It is 3-0 the count. As the Saints, they scored 8 runs and 6 runs in their games respectively. The Oaks, they've matched that total in just 6 innings. Not even done with 6 innings if Frank can get aboard here with a 3-1 count. The 3-1 into Frank. Catches the knees for a strike. Count is juiced.
And Frank comes from one of the most athletic families on this team. He has multiple cousins that have played college sports. He has 2 cousins that play professional basketball overseas, as he fouls that one away. But, you know, he comes from a very athletic background, and you can see that athleticism on that play that he had earlier. He hits the double, the bases clearing double, easily able to get to second, showed a little bit of speed. I mean, he's not the fastest guy, but, you know, at his size, he hustles pretty well. And right now he's a tough out with a full count.
This pitch, check swing. He's retired. Full count. Goes down. We're going to call it swinging. And the Oaks lead 15-2 here as we head to the top of the 7th. We're back here for the top of the 7th inning. Sorry about the scoreboard update. We are working a little bit behind because the Oaks are just scoring too many runs. But I'll send it back to Knight Uretsky for play-by-play for the final innings of this ballgame.
Top of the 7th inning here at Sparky Anderson Field as Chris Torres is on the mound. His first pitch is in there for a strike, and he jumps ahead now 0-1 and wastes no time and delivers another strike, that time swinging to Gonzalez. Gonzalez in his last at-bat went yard right over the right field wall, as now Torres delivers once again. That one's low for a ball. Gonzalez went deep, scored the 2 runs on that 2-run shot in the 5th, but since that point, it's been a lot of Oaks runs, as Torres gets him swinging, or not swinging, looking. Excuse me. I don't know where I came up with that, but I was really just thinking about his swing earlier. But yeah, Torres gets Gonzalez looking.
And that's a good start for Torres to start the inning. We've seen him use the breaking ball a few times here. He got the strikeout on the breaking ball. He just threw that first pitch there on the breaking ball. And he's had a good outing. He's pitching 2 innings so far. Didn't give up any runs in the last inning. Got out of a jam. And then in this inning, starts out with a strikeout.
As the play is made from Smith. And now ready. 2 away now here in the top of the 7th inning. Torres gets Gonzalez looking and gets Reyna to ground out to second.
We'll try to keep up with defensive substitutions as much as possible, but there is a substitution at catcher. Cody Sulak comes into the game. He is now behind the dish.
Saw Sulak earlier in the bullpen pen as the pitch is in there for a strike. Sulak, wearing the red gear, goes to Pacific University in Forest Grove, Oregon. As the pitch is away for a ball.
We see Torres really living in the bottom of the zone right here. He's really trying to get those strikes at the knees. If he's missing low, not leaving anything up in the zone. We saw with Gonzalez, if you leave something up in the zone, it's easily hit out of the park. Now, trying to live low.
As Sulak makes some work as he dives to his knees, stops the ball, and it makes it a 2-1 count now with 2 outs.
And that's exactly what you want to do. If you're Torres, fastball's low in the zone and breaking balls to induce strikes.
Jamian grounds that one foul down the left field line. Keeps the at-bat alive. We're even 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Torres, the windup, the pitch, and that one's in the dirt once again.
And I don't hate that miss. I know it's in the dirt. I know it got away from Sulak, but there's no one on base. You can waste a curveball right there, especially when you have a ball to spare. You don't want to be working the count all the way to a full count, but if you have a 2-2 count, you're trying to induce a swing and a miss after he just fell down a 2-strike pitch. I don't hate that ball in the dirt.
And another ball in the dirt as now Jamian will head to first.
I do hate that ball in the dirt. You don't want to be giving free bases away.
Jamian works back from a 1-2 count to walk, and now another inning with a runner on base for the Ventura County Pirates. As this pitch is hit high in the air to left field, play is made, and that'll retire the side. So we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk just for the Pirates with no errors. The Oaks lead 15-2. We'll be right back after this break. Back for the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher for Ventura County. It's number 16, Brent Chavez. Another lefty for the Pirates. He's a second-year freshman from L.A. Pierce College. There's a couple of Pierce guys for the Oaks that he'll be delivering to, but now Grant Smith will step up to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th.
And another lefty. And you continue to see for Ventura County and George Verano, the head coach, it's a lot of lefty pitchers. And maybe that's just a fact of they have a lot of lefties in their roster. Maybe it's a fact of they think that's what works well against the Oaks. But down 15-2, not a lot has been working well against the Oaks.
No, it is not, as now the count moves to 1-1 after Smith takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. 5 lefty pitchers on the staff for the Pirates. We've seen 3 of them so far. As Smith grounds it to third, the play is made by Taylor. And already a quick out here for the Pirates.
What we have seen so far in this game is we've seen it a little bit more buttoned up. There haven't been as many errors late in the game. We saw early on a similar ground ball to third like that. It was a ball that was thrown away by the Oaks in the top of the first. Then we saw a few errors by Ventura County we saw one in the first. We saw one. We've seen errors throughout the games. We haven't seen it in the later innings.
As the pitch from Chavez is in there for a strike to Sharp.
And Sharp is in, but we saw Sulak in at catcher. So I think that Sulak is probably going to bat for Frank in the 4 spot if that comes up in the order next time around, because that 4 spot is a designated hitter spot in the lineup, or at least it started out as such. It's a little bit difficult to keep up with all of these substitutions, especially when we're trying to keep track of all of it manually. So we're doing the absolute best we can. If we misidentify a player, we absolutely apologize. We'll try to do our best throughout the entirety of this broadcast and the entirety of the season.
Sharp at the dish. It's a 1-2 count with 1 away. Chavez set. He delivers, and Sharp strikes out swinging. And a ball in the dirt. And so far, Chavez, a ground out and a strikeout. And it moves things along quickly as now TJ Foreman will come up to the plate, trying to keep the inning alive for the Oaks. Foreman so far able to score 2 runs in this game. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Later had a single in the third, struck out in the 5th, and then had another single last inning in the 6th. He came around to score. And the Ventura College stolen base record holder digs in again.
A record holder that's reached base 3 times today and has been able to be a menace on the base paths.
Yeah, his speed is no doubt one of the best on this team, if not the best on this Conejo Oaks team. And when he gets on base, he's very dangerous. It's a 1-0 count now with 2 away. Chavez throws and Foreman fouls it off. Foreman going to Austin Peay State University. That's over in Texas. He's a leadership major there. Hopes to be a principal or a teacher and coach one day. As the pitch from Chavez is hit to center field. The play is made by Palace, and that'll do it for the 7th inning. So, no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The Oaks lead 15-2 after 7 innings of baseball. But so far, these last couple of innings, they've really slowed down a little bit. The Oaks are really taking command. But, it's a great day for baseball. The weather today has been phenomenal, hasn't it, Ryan?
It's been absolutely phenomenal. I want to talk about that last frame because that's the first perfect frame we've seen all day for Ventura County. We've seen them in every single inning give up a hit or a run. That's the first 1-2-3 inning that we've seen all day for them. And it might be the first 1-2-3 inning we've seen all day on either side, despite the fact that Conejo has been pretty much dominating this game. In every single inning, the Oaks have given up a base runner as well. So that's the first time that we've seen 3 consecutive batters retired in the same inning for either side. I think that's something of note.
Yeah, it definitely is. That was probably one of the quicker innings we've seen. Both teams really just got sent up and sent down pretty quickly in that 7th inning. But right now, the Oaks, they're leading 15-2. People here, the stands have fans. It's really great to see fans here. And in addition, we see the fans in the center field. There's people parked their cars in the center field, and you can see them sitting on their cars watching the game from out there. It's kind of cool to see, right, Ryan?
Oh, it's absolutely fun to see. It's been a long time since baseball has had fans. It's been a long time since we've had fans in the stands. It's great to have fans in the stands with us. It's also fantastic because there's a parking lot that backs right up to center field. There are multiple people, not just one, not just two. There are 3 different sets of people who have backed their pickup truck up. They're sitting in the bed. That's the exact style that we like to do it.
Definitely. I mean, hey, why not? I mean, you're out here in beautiful Southern California. The weather here today has been phenomenal. I know that I heard a couple of players right when I got out of the car. I was walking into the stadium. Players were like, man, it is a nice day for baseball. And boy, oh boy, how can it not be? I mean, we're talking with Cody Sulak. Actually, Cody, who's out there catching here today, he was saying how he loves the sunshine. You know, he plays at Pacific University in Oregon, played summer ball in Washington 1 year, and, you know, it gets cloudy there during the summer. But he's happy to be back, and there's not even barely any clouds in the sky. I mean, if you're looking towards left field, there's no clouds. There's a little bit of haze to the right field side, but nonetheless.
New pitcher in the game as well.
As the first pitch is fouled away by number 28.
That's Darren Taylor.
Darren Taylor.
The new pitcher in the game for the Oaks is going to be Nick Rincover. Rincover brings a fastball, changeup, curveball selection. So far, we've seen all heaters.
Rincover set, delivers, and that one's grounded on to the third baseman, Burford. He throws over to the first, and Taylor is retired. So a quick out once again. And now Trenton Palace comes up to the plate. So far today, Palace has struck out. He had a single, and he flew out to center field, digging in for the 4th time as the pitch is high.
And right there, we saw Sulak have a little bit of trouble squeezing it on the in his glove. It's something that you don't expect him to struggle with on a pitch that didn't have to block, just was up in the zone. Something that hopefully doesn't affect him.
Palace sends it to center field. The play is made by Call, and now 2 are retired here in the top of the 8th inning.
So that brings 2 down. Rincover working through the inning like a pro. We saw the 1-2-3 inning from Ventura Valley last half inning. Now we see the first 2 batters retired for Ventura County on the offensive side in this inning from Rincover.
As Rincover delivers a strike, it's like the curveball there. Pinch hitter now for Ventura County. Sean Mann steps over the plate, 6'3", 200-pound outfielder at College of the Canyons. As that one's fouled away.
Knight, it is time for what I hope is going to be my favorite segment of the entire year. It's Guess That Player's Favorite Food. We're starting off with the pitcher. We're starting off with the first iteration of the season, Nick Rincover. Knight, you have 3 guesses. Guess that player's favorite food.
Oh, gosh. You know, I'm going to go with, I'll keep it simple, like mac and cheese.
It's not mac and cheese. It's a little more exotic than that.
Exotic. Oh.
Exotic.
What's more exotic than mac and cheese?
Everything. As he gets the strikeout,
so
able to get out of the inning.
Yeah, Mann is retired. That's a 1-2-3 inning. So back-to-back 1-2-3 innings as Mann is retired on a strikeout. But, you know, I'm going to keep guessing. All right. Can you at least give me, like, a clue? Or is there anything?
We're headed to Asia.
Asia. Oh, gosh. I don't know, like curry or something?
It's not curry. We're not in India. We're a little further east. We're east on an island. It's been adopted as American cuisine. Sushi.
Yes.
Got on the third guess.
Got it?
Hey,
all right.
And if the listeners want to play along at home, there's 35 people watching the broadcast.
Yeah.
If for future iterations of Guess That Player's Favorite Food, we can take audience suggestions as well. Not just not just Night guessing. We could take everyone's guesses as well. But Nick Rincover's favorite food is sushi.
You know, sushi is good. I like sushi. How about you, Ryan? You a sushi guy?
I'm a sushi fan. I
Yeah.
enjoy a good sushi. You know, I like to go, and I like to go when I order food. I don't typically order sushi because the Grubhub, the DoorDash is a little more expensive. But whenever I get the delicacy of sushi, it's always a welcome surprise. Unless it's gas station sushi. No one likes gas station sushi.
It is a nice surprise every now and then. It's a nice little treat for myself.
We're now headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. Same pitcher on the mound for Ventura County. It is Brent Chavez. And Call is coming back to the plate for Conejo. It's going to be his second at-bat of the game.
As the pitch from Chavez is fouled away. Call lost his bat on that play.
And that was a hard foul ball that barely scraped over the netting right behind home plate. Luckily, there was no one walking on that sidewalk because that exit velocity was high.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was high, but the fact that he lost his bat on that foul ball, I don't think I've ever seen a bat fly straight behind the plate as the ball fouled behind the plate. I mean, that's pretty rare in my books. Have you seen that before?
I've not. It was a weird play all around.
Like, the ball and bat both flew backwards as Call takes another strike. It's now 0-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That one in at the knees. It could have been, it was close to being down. I don't think anyone's going to challenge that call, and I don't think anyone has a gripe with it, given it's a 15-2 ball game.
And Call takes a ball now. That was on the outside part of the plate. It was close. But nevertheless, the count moves to 1-2. Hunter Call, going to be a freshman was a freshman at Santa Barbara City College. As he pops this one up. And the play is made by the shortstop, Reyna.
It's very difficult to keep track of who is still in the game because the numbers are on the back of the jerseys. We don't see the back of the jerseys.
And it's very hard, too, especially with these Ventura County uniforms being camo. It's really hard to read numbers off.
Well, they're doing their job. The camo is doing its job.
The camo is doing its job. But it's definitely one of the harder uniforms to try to read. I know I called an Arizona game at Oregon one time, and those jerseys were kind of hard to read. The red and blue kind of meshed together, but the camo, having camo and red, it's a little bit hard.
So many colors, none of them stand out.
As the pitch to Naviak is outside. It's now 2-0. Bottom of the 8th inning, Oaks lead 15-2. It's been an offensive onslaught as they take a pitch outside. But the last 5 batters for the Oaks have been retired. Had a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And a 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks in the top of the 7th, or the bottom of the 7th. Or the top of the 8th, rather. Rinkover with a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th, as that, a line out right to the second baseman.
Naviak, like you said, lines out to the second baseman. And now Reagan Burford comes up to the plate. Burford is going to be at Ole Miss in the fall. He's going to be a sophomore down there. He was at Northwest Florida State last year. He hit .339 with 7 home runs and 39 RBIs.
Fun fact about Northwest Florida State, Oregon shooting guard, Pac-12 Writers Player of the Year, shooting guard in the nation, Chris Duarte, was a transfer from Northwest Florida State.
As that pitch is swung on and missed, and it's now 0-2. I also believe Elgin Cook also went to Northwest Florida State, if I'm not mistaken.
You're going to have to enlighten me on who Elgin Cook is.
as the pitch from Chavez is in the dirt. I'm going to look it up real quick and make sure I'm right before I splurge on Elgin Cook. Elgin Cook, I believe, was a Duck as well, yes. And, yes, he did go to Northwest Florida State. So Elgin Cook was a Duck from 2013 to 2016. He was on that Final Four team. But Elgin Cook did go to Northwest Florida State. So a couple of Ducks there. This guy, though, he's going to Ole Miss, not a Duck.
The pipeline does not continue.
The pipeline does not continue. Chavez delivers outside for a ball.
I believe that juices the count.
Does. It's full 3-2. But Burford, he's going to be an accounting major at Ole Miss. Fun fact about him, he's really good at chess. And, you know, it's kind of a chess match right now, especially with a full count. As times is called. Burford only one hit in the leadoff spot. That was a double in the second inning. He struck out in the third. A couple of ground outs throughout the game. Up again now for the sixth time. As he grounds another one to the third baseman, Taylor across the diamond in time. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks as they are retired in order. We head to the top of the ninth inning as the Oaks will look to close things out as they lead 15-2. But Ryan, so far, I mean, it's been all Oaks. The last couple of innings, things have slowed down. It's been a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings, and it's going to be another pitcher coming up for the Oaks, and that is Clayton Rickerman. Tell me about Clayton Rickerman. What does he bring?
Clayton Rickerman, fastball, slider, splitter, a combination that we don't see too often. There are 5 pitchers active for each day because there's 15 pitchers on the roster for the Oaks. 5 are available on Friday. This is the 5th pitcher we've seen. There was Rivas, Plotkin, Torres, Rinkover, and Rickerman. And those were how they pitched in order. So tomorrow we will probably see Wiersma, Ma, Garza, Perez, and Coquillar. And then Sunday we'll see Waitman, Jocks, Gray, Madrigal, and Buckner. So if you're looking for who the pitchers are going to be at least over the next 3 days, you've got your answer for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's who you can expect. If you're an Oaks fan for a while, Eric Ma, he's available tomorrow, and he's someone who's been with the Oaks for quite some time, a familiar face. When a lot of these guys just come for 1 year, come get some summer ball action, and get their experience, get seen by some scouts, Eric Ma really likes coming down to Conejo, really likes coming down to CLU, really likes playing for Dave Solis.
Yeah, this is his 4th year with the Oaks. Eric Ma is. He went to Whitman College up in Walla Walla, Washington for his first 3 years. This past season, he transferred to Northern Colorado, played a little bit at the beginning of the year, but then had a pec injury and missed a lot of this past season. He's now in the transfer portal again, but he made that big jump from D3 to D1 to Northern Colorado, and a lot of that experience and being able to make that jump was because of coming here to the Oaks.
And we'll talk a lot about that tomorrow. Clayton Rickerman now trying to close out the game for the Oaks. He has a little bit of a cushion, 13-run lead. So I'm going to call it here. I don't think it's going to be a blown save. Rickerman out of Cal Lutheran.
Yeah, as he delivers a strike on the first pitch.
So when we talk about Torres as his when we talk about Rivas as his familiarity with the mound in the first few innings, the same thing is here.
As the 0-1 pitch is fouled off the dugout of the Ventura County Pirates. But yes, like you said, we saw Rivas start the game. They go with a Cal Lutheran pitcher to begin the game. Rivas does pretty good. Doesn't allow a run in 3 innings pitched. Now they're going to end it with Rickerman, another Cal Lutheran player. You have 2 Kingsmen here today playing on their home field, Sparky Anderson Field. Now Rickerman trying to close things out as Morales grounds out to first, and 1 out is away.
Rickerman in his time at Cal Lutheran in 2021, 13 appearances, a 2-1 win-loss ratio, and a 2.92 ERA. That ERA is impressive. Having an ERA under 3 at Cal Lutheran, they're a D3 school, but that's a very impressive ERA.
And they're not just any D3 school. They're a D3 school that's competing for national championships on a yearly basis. In 2017, they were the Division III national champions. And so this is a really good program here in Thousand Oaks. In addition, he also had 3 saves throughout his time there. As now that pitch is hit up the middle by Serpa. And a runner is on for the Pirates. Serpa grounded out his first time up, but now gets a single. And now Gonzalez will come up.
And again, apologies for the scoreboard updates. We tried our best, broadcast the game, and update the scoreboard at the same time. If we forget to update that scoreboard, either let us know in the chat or just bear with us, and we will do our best to correct it as quickly as we can.
So 15-2 the score. 1 out. Rickerman throws, and that ball is in the dirt. Sulak able to dig it out. Serpa remains on first, and the count is 1-0. Steven Gonzalez at the plate now for the Pirates. He had that 2-run shot that was really the only offense of the game for the Pirates. It's only 2 runs of the game. It was the 2-run home run right over the right field wall, right near that 320 mark. Really enjoyed listening to you call that play, Ryan. But nevertheless, that's all that's been for the Pirates offensively. Rickerman nods the throw, and Gonzalez rips that one foul.
And that looked like a similar hit to the one that was a home run by Gonzalez, one that by the same guy, one that looked like I thought off the bat was going to be foul, ended up getting closer to the pole than I thought it was going to be, and that one traveled pretty far. I thought there was a chance.
Opposite field's been really flowing here today. As Gonzalez grounds it to the pitcher, he's just going to toss it over to the first baseman, Bobo. And so now 2 men are retired, and the Pirates are down to their final out, down by 13.
No rally caps on in the Pirates dugout. I personally would have a rally cap on.
Yeah.
If I was in the Pirates dugout, you'd see my hat turned upside down, backwards, halfway folded.
Now, Ryan, you played Little League Baseball as a kid. If your team was down by 13, would you always have the rally cap on?
My team was never down by 13.
As the first pitch to Reyna is swung on and missed, Rickerman moves 0-1. Really carried that team, Ryan?
No, absolutely not. But the rally caps are always on, especially when you're in Little League. Little League rally caps come out whenever you're down. It could be the first inning.
Rickerman steps off. Rickerman in 2019, before that COVID year, had 9.1 innings pitched, as well as having a 1-1 record that year, as he delivers, and that one's low. Counts even, 1-1 with 2 outs. Still a little bit of noise coming from that Pirates dugout as Reyna pops one to left field. And the play is made, and that'll do it for the first game in 2021 for the Conejo Oaks. They win a blowout 15-2, but the Conejo Oaks with a statement win over the Ventura County Pirates. And really, it was a great game offensively for them. Pitching-wise, they did good, only allowing 2 runs off that 2-run home run. Ryan, what really stood out to you in this victory?
Well, what stood out to me, first of all, it has to be the offense. It absolutely has to be the offense. There's not even really one guy that stands out. If I had to pick one, it would probably be Bobo, who didn't even get out. He had 5 plate appearances on the day. I reached base 5 times. A double, 2 singles, a walk, and a hit by pitch in the game. He had an RBI, a run scored, 2 runs scored. A tremendous day for Bobo. We also saw big days from Frank off the bench with a big-time double to clear the bases in the 5th. And then Carrillo, Naviak with 3 extra base hits, a triple in the 2nd, a double in the 5th, a double in the 6th. 3 runs scored on the day. If I had to pick an MVP, it might be the 9-slot hitter, JT Naviak.
I was going to say Naviak, too. I'd also like to throw in TJ Foreman, his name into there. He reached base 3 times, but 2 of those 3 times, he stole a couple of bags and really made an impact on the base path. We saw him, the Ventura College stolen base leader or record holder. He really stepped it up today on the base path. He made an impact when he got on bag. But overall, a great showing for the Oaks in the first game.
Yeah, great showing for the Oaks. It's something to build upon, a 15-2 win. I'm sure Dave Solis is happy with that. And I would say the 2 runs were given up. And as silly as this sounds, I don't think that home run was a very hard hit ball.
No. So looking forward to tomorrow against Walnut Creek, what do you think the Oaks are going to have to do? I mean, obviously they just scored 15 runs.
Still in the learning phase. The Oaks are still in the learning phase. It's about figuring out the team. I expect maybe even a completely different lineup. We're definitely going to see completely different pitchers tomorrow. So it's just about learning the team, learning the chemistry, seeing how this team plays together, and that's how the beginning of the season, that's why this game is a non-league game. That's why that they're playing Walnut Creek. I believe that's a non-league game again tomorrow, and then again the day after. So all of these games are just tune-up games headed into league play. Figure out what you have, and then things get competitive.
Yeah, the Oaks will play Walnut Creek. Walnut Creek coming down from the Northern California division. Normally, those teams don't really play each other, but they are going to play 2 games. They're playing tomorrow at 4 p.m. and on Sunday at 1 p.m. Come here to YouTube on the Conejo Oaks live broadcast. But, you know, it's been a pleasure. Knight Uretsky here with Ryan Milano. And thank you guys for listening. We'll be back here tomorrow for Walnut Creek at 4 p.m.